Hi, my name is Matthew Lewis.
And this is Ben Sturgeon.
And we are the today live action movie bros.
I guess.
I suppose.
Just to let you guys know, we're doing something a little bit out of our ballpark for this.
Yeah, it's we normally don't cover live action movies, but today we're covering Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars Episode 9.
Yeah, which also, it's not just the fact that it's live action, it's the fact that this is, at the time of this recording, very new.
Yeah. Also, they're going to be out soon, too, because I'm probably putting it out really recently.
Fair. Yeah. But so either way, this is different and new, but my host over here, buddy, was like, hey, you should watch all of these different Star Wars things. So I did. Up to now, where he was like, hey, let's watch Rise of Skywalker. I'm like, okay. I honestly didn't have any plans of watching it until it came out, but why not? It's always good to have a movie time.
Keeping it on brand, we did, we both at separate times watched all of Clone Wars and all of Rebels, which are toons and action-based. So.
Actually, not done with Clone Wars yet.
Oh, come on.
Dude, there's 6 seasons of that.
Well, it's going to be 7 soon with Disney+.
Oh my goodness.
Which I was like,
I'm only on halfway through 3.
Oh, you're awful.
Rebels was short.
Yeah, Rebels was short compared to...
Of 4 seasons.
Now, speaking of Rebels, there is a Rebels cameo in this movie, but we'll get there when we get there.
I must have missed it, but I've only seen this once.
Yeah.
I've only seen this once.
Yeah, and I saw it twice for the recording's sake.
Yeah, well, speaking of for the recording's sake, we should probably begin. But before we begin, for those of you who haven't watched it yet by the time this comes out, spoiler warning.
Oh yeah, big spoilers for endgame sequences and story twists and all kinds of junk like that.
Indeed. So, we start off with the usual fanfare, because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not like Rogue One, where it just started with a
I like Rogue
jump
One.
scare.
Also, did you see Solo? You saw Solo, right? Or
not yet.
Okay, it starts differently too. It just starts with a couple of quotes and then goes right into the middle of this, right into the action.
Because you've seen it more. What did all of that text sum up to?
Oh, well, actually, that's kind of the first weird, cameo point I wanted to put out, kind of. I assumed you didn't play the Fortnite Star Wars crossover thing?
You assume I play Fortnite
Yeah, of course not. In that, you actually get the Emperor's message that they refer to in the beginning of this movie.
Oh, yeah? Do you know what it is off the cuff?
Heck no. Just saying he's going to plan revenge. And just like, and it's like, the dead speak, a message from the Emperor says he's got to come and get revenge. What's going on? And that was that was in the recent Fortnite event for, some reason the Emperor's back and it says, Rey's struggling to be a Jedi and Kylo Ren's struggling to find out where the Emperor's signal comes from. And that pretty much just jumps right into the middle of the action.
Literally, the first thing after the scroll text is, we go on a planet where Kylo Ren is killing everything.
Oh yeah, we see, this weird random planet. I didn't catch the name of it, but also, are we going to go plot by plot for the whole thing, or just cover overall thoughts on the whole movie? Because
we might as well. We'll start with what we're doing now, and then we'll go from there, because that's what we do. We do the plots and our thoughts at the same time.
Yeah. The planet we don't know. We see this Kylo Ren after he kicks a bunch of alien butt. We see this weird device. Yeah, it's like a weird stone tomb, and then this weird device that looks identical to the Sith holocron.
See, that's what I was thinking too. For some reason, I was immediately interested, because watching Rebels, I know what holocrons are and what they look like.
They also have a ton of other EU stuff too. Yeah, it literally looks exactly like a Sith holocron. Specifically, they look different in different stuff. Like in Fallen Order, look different. In the original Clone Wars, looks different, and all kinds of stuff. It specifically looks like the specific Sith holocron that Ezra has in that series. Which,
by the way, is a pyramid shape.
Yeah, it's a pyramid shape, but they say it's a Sith wayfinder. And
in this they call it a wayfinder.
Yeah, and it's I'm like, oh, come on, it's a good opportunity.
And but then, of course, after Kylo finds this, he actually goes on his ship, and he's going through some weird red nebula kind of
some
thing.
weird gas cloud.
Oh no, it's so crazy. And then we get to some planet that on the surface of the planet, when we actually get into the planet, I originally thought was Genosha, a different part of Genosha.
Really?
Because it you can see the similarity, because it's all dark and cloudy with
Genosha's all brown and mesas. That was a flat...
No, Genosha, I meant Camino. My bad, I meant Camino.
Camino's all water.
Yeah, well, the first thing I saw was waves and stuff, and the dark, cloudy, storm cloud kind of thing.
No, I didn't think
that's what I was thinking.
Well,
but then,
the fact that it was a Sith planet that he needed a Sith device for, my mind went straight to Moraban, aka Korriban.
Korriban?
From, it was Moraban in Clone Wars, but Korriban in...
that's the Old Republic. Malls.
No, that's Dathomir.
That's not Malls?
No. Korriban was the Sith planet from all the KOTOR 1, 2, and the MMO.
Which I did buy. I did buy KOTOR 1 and 2.
They're fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, from what I've heard.
But
anyway.
but yeah, like, I thought it was like, that's like the famous planet from all the stuff, and it was called Morban in Clone Wars. And I assumed that was it.
You can definitely tell who knows more about Star Wars here.
Of course. And also, or the Sith, is like the weird pyramid thing that he goes into looks exactly like the weird Sith planet device that Ezra went into in the season 2 and 3. Yeah, which was on Malachor. Was the name of that planet?
Yeah, that's right. It
looked like that, it reminded me of that too. And it wasn't that either. It was a new planet called Exegol.
Yeah, Exegol. Although, after I knew it wasn't Kamino. Yeah. Because the moment Kylo walked in, it kind of like had like the stone thing used the Force to elevate himself down.
Yeah, it was like an elevator thing.
You know, kind of like a temple. So I'm like, is this a... Oh, it's a Sith temple, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And of course Kylo Ren's walking. It's all like black with like little bit of dark lighting and
big
stuff.
Giant Jedi or Sith looking stone statues and stuff.
With like, these weird tiny little hooded men working, not Jawas.
Yeah,
right? Like working on things. And as Kylo's walking through, we see like vats or like
he says like, I remember every voice you ever heard. You keep hearing the Emperor, or like, it sounds like the Emperor talking to Kylo through his mind while this whole journey.
Yes, and was that him? Was that the original Palpatine?
I believe he passed away because he voiced the Emperor in Clone Wars, and then Tim Curry voiced him for the last half of Clone Wars because the actor passed away.
So is it the Palpatine that was in the prequels then?
So that's who I'm referring to.
When I said original, I meant like...
I'm pretty sure that actor passed away. That definitely did.
Fair.
I have no clue.
Well, I mean, if Mark Hamill's still alive...
Yeah, but that guy was already like ancient when Mark Hamill was like in his early 20s.
Oh, you're just saying that because he looked wrinkly.
Yeah, he had that bad makeup on from the 70s.
Anyway, point is... as we hear Palpatine talking and
like, I'm all the voices. He goes through Snoke's voice and Vader's voice. He's like, I'm all the voices you ever heard. I was talking to you this whole time.
Yeah. I am the evil that is in your mind.
Yeah, and that's when we see like, he's like, oh, like you followed, like, you defeated Snoke, and it's just like we see all vats of Snokes. Now this is the first like point of contention. What do you think of that reveal? Like that Snoke was just created by the Emperor as like a weird clone.
Well, being. if you'll let me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go a little bit further ahead before I give my thoughts.
Okay.
Because as you're seeing a bunch of like different Snokes and stuff in these vats and stuff, you finally get to see the reveal of who is behind the voice of Palpatine. Which, spoilers, it's Palpatine.
Yeah. I assume this is the same Palpatine.
Here's my thoughts.
Yeah.
I got incredibly angry.
Really?
Because in my head... all of those theories of clone Palpatine were true at that moment. But then, as I'm like sitting here like, oh my god, it really is. What a cop-out was my thought.
I'm going to say, for the sake of the listeners, before we saw the movie, Ben said, it better not be a clone Palpatine to me. Even before we saw it.
I did. But I was upset because, oh no, it came to fruition. But then two things made me realize I was wrong.
Yeah.
His eyes, because they're like the kind of like the zombified, like all white.
Like cataracts.
And
filled.
He showed his hands.
Yeah.
And they were all like completely disgusting, disfigured. Even had like a few.
Yeah, a couple were missing. Yeah.
When I saw that, I'm like, okay, this is good again because it's not a clone. It's he lived somehow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Why are you happy about him living?
I was happy that it wasn't a clone.
Yeah. Why would a clone? Did you ever read the Dark Empire series? The books?
You assume I've read any of the books.
Okay, it's an old like 90s series with that's where Grand Admiral Thrawn was introduced.
Thrawn?
Thrawn was introduced. It was that series. It was a whole plotline about like a bunch of clone emperors that were like younger, and it was like a whole story about what happened after the original trilogy. I don't know. You have a problem with the clone emperors?
Because it's like a cop-out, in my opinion. It's like a cop-out thing. It's like, oh, Palpatine isn't dead per se. He's just a copy. It's like, come on. Well, anyway, as we see real Palpatine,
he's like hoisted up on some weird mechanical stuff.
Yeah, like we're talking like kind of like. It reminded me of like a weird toy on like one of those mechanic things that like a robot moves around, like an animatronic kind of thing.
Yeah, like a weird animatronic.
It looked like that. It's like, oh, so weird.
But also weird thing, he looked closer to when he was Chancellor Palpatine as opposed to Darth Sidious or the Emperor.
Did. But then again, I mean, with today's makeup and stuff like that.
No, I'm saying, why was he look like that? But like later on in the movie, when he becomes like younger and more energy filled, he looks more like the messed up by Mace Windu Emperor.
Yeah.
As opposed to when he's before that, he looks better when he's like, or not better, but facially he looks a little bit better.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, that was a weird, interesting, weird choice.
But either way, Kylo's like, I'm gonna kill you. And Palpatine's like, no, you won't. I mean, you may, but not yet.
Yeah, and then he just like conjure. He's like, I'll give you an even better army, but bring me that scavenger. And we see him conjure up a ton of old school looking Star Destroyers
like
from the ground.
Star Destroyers too,
yeah, are they Super Star Destroyers?
Some of them could have been. All we know is that the majority of them.
They popped out of the ground from nowhere.
Were just Star Destroyers.
Yeah, they popped out of the ground from nowhere. This reminded me of an old canon thing. The Starforge. I assume you didn't play KOTOR or anything like that, so you don't know about that.
Not yet.
All right, it was just a weird thing that somebody like a Force user went out into deep space and found this weird device. I mean, you could like create anything from it, and they just made a bunch of like a fleet of Sith people and all kinds of stuff like that. But that's what I assumed it was, because otherwise, like, what the heck? Where did this even come from? What was this stuff, and where did it come from? It was really weird.
Hey, when you want to amass an army, it takes time. He had many years to do this.
Yeah, but he just popped them out of the ground.
Okay, so he had little like Sith Force seeds. he just grew them from the ground.
For some many things that barely make sense or is never explained in the movie.
And in typical Palpatine sense, he persuades Kylo, how about I give you this giant army, which the First Order is what Kylo Ren works for.
Yeah.
This new fleet the Emperor calls the Final Order.
Yeah.
And of course, it will all be Kylo Ren's if Kylo does one thing.
Well,
kill the girl.
No, bring me the girl.
He said kill.
He said bring, I thought.
I heard specifically kill.
Meh, we'll find out.
He said he wants the girl to die. And I
think he's already planning on his whole plan hinges on her not dying. He wanted her there.
Now we'll get there.
No, I'm saying he wanted her. He said, bring me the girl.
No, he said kill.
He said bring.
He said kill on what? Anyway.
Not regarding...
Let's not get into this argument right now.
Yeah, I was saying we're already recovering too much. Anyway, that's when we cut to Rey's training with
before we do that, he dropped something ominous.
What?
She's not at all what she seems.
Yeah.
And then we cut to...
Yeah, Rey training in the forest with the old school laser ball thing. But she's like... not good at deflecting blasts, which I'm like, oh yeah, she never does that throughout the movie.
Now, for those of you who have seen the Last Jedi, all of you would be like, okay, so she's training. Is she training alone? Because Luke's dead.
Yeah.
But we find out that she's being trained by
Leia.
Yeah, Leia actually is training her, which I thought,
despite Carrie Fisher, I thought it was weird. I think a known thing of like Carrie Fisher passed away 3 years ago, but they also JJ said that he wasn't going to CGI her, but then he ended up doing that in this movie, making her a huge plot point for some reason, which I thought was not a good idea.
Right.
They need to make her so important.
Sticky situation for something else, and we also see as Rey is training, she not only is she training, but she is furious.
Yeah, she's very bad. She does a lightsaber throw, which is a classic.
Yeah, she does a lightsaber throw, and for some reason, as she's like finishing her training, she gets like these visions, these flashes of what we could assume is her past and her parents and stuff like that. We don't know.
Yeah,
and of course that doesn't help. That only helps fuel the fire. And as all of this is happening, as she cuts a few trees down and stuff like that, BB-88's like, in weird droid language, please help, I am under tree.
I was also before that we forgot about the whole Poe and Finn meeting that random alien to find out that there's a spy in the First Order, and then gives them plans about where the Emperor.
That happens all before we see Rey.
Yeah. Anyway, like I just said, all that stuff happens. They meet the alien. They could find some. Also, this is when we get some the light speed skipping.
Yeah,
which is like
skipping,
I think we've never seen before in the series that shouldn't be possible. Also, those TIE fighters were following them through warp speed.
See, that was the weirdest thing about
a lot of people were super pissed about the light speed tracking thing, which was actually like very minor cameo he hinted at in Rogue One, and then popped up in The Last Jedi, which people hated. And then this one, like those TIE fighters are following them through warp skipping. Like, how the heck is that even possible?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I mean, with some of the side stuff, like
they needed Snoke's super ship to track one ship in the last scene, but now they're like hopping through.
Well, right, but like with things like Rebels and stuff like that, they actually had ways of making TIE fighters do hyperspace.
Yeah.
But these ones were just regular TIE fighters.
Yeah, the TIE Defender wasn't in Rebels.
The big one with like the 3 prongs and stuff, and the Inquisitor TIE fighters.
Yeah, what's a goddamn Inquisitor?
We're able to do that too, right? But still, like if this were Kylo Ren's TIE fighter looking thing, I could understand if it could hyperspace. But no, these were regular ones jumping with them.
Yeah, with them to random planets and random times, and it was like that's good. That's weird. Weird.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah. Because we forgot about that. Yeah. Poe and Finn find this one like alien informant kind of guy who's like, there's a spy. Here's some information.
Let's say you recognize this alien, this species of alien was in Solo, very much in the background with Emphas Nest.
I've never seen Solo.
Of course, and also it's a new new playable character for the new Heavy in Battlefront 2. They put this alien species as that.
I've only played the good Battlefront 2.
Oh, not the 2018 one, the lame one. But like, yeah, it's there's a ton of like that whole situation. I'm trying not to like make this like super long because we have a bunch of stuff to record today.
Right.
But Rey's training poorly with Leia not able to deflect anything, which she never deflects any, or she does later. She kind of does.
It sort of.
But like, she's a training, and this is when they get like, the spy gave us all this information on what the heck is this about? Oh, this is about he's on a planet called Exegol. We don't know how to get there.
Yeah, he's on a planet called Exegol, and they also learn about the Final Order.
Yeah. And this is when they finally, that Final Order, they're going to have a huge fleet of spaceships and or Star Destroyers. They get the planet. How are we going to find it? Well, Luke was tracking it. Yeah, he tracked
this is when we get the name Sith Wayfinder. The Wayfinder.
Yeah, not a holocron, which would have been a better call out to the
seriously,
lore.
It would have been. But anyway, she's like, Luke was looking for this I almost call it a holocron.
Exactly.
Sith Wayfinder,
it should be called
Sith Wayfinder on planet.
I don't even party planet with the celebration.
Well, it was like a remote desert planet.
Yeah, again, a very original concept for Star Wars.
Of course, because
a remote desert planet.
Yeah, but then as that's all happening.
Yeah, they back on Snoke's ship, Kylo Ren's ship, when he has a meeting with all of those new people, we meet the new General Pride.
Oh yes, General Pride, who is actually pretty alright in my book.
The actor is in a ton of stuff. He's a good
villain at least.
He's an interesting villain, but I think his role should have been Hux.
And we get a New Hope moment because it's like, all of these on what was it called, Exegol. Yeah, Exegol. All of these people at Exegol sound like a cult. Blah blah blah. I don't believe in the Force.
Yeah.
And Kylo chokes, slams him in the ceiling, and he's just like, and not even with his hands. It's all with his mind or something like that. And he's just like, all right. We're going to find the girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say that guy in the original movie, in original New Hope, that gets strangled by Vader. If you ever read the god awful, never read it, it's terrible garbage trash book from a certain point of view. It's literally a book that covers the New Hope from like every random background NPC's perspective and all their stories. It's a really interesting concept. The book is garbage terrible. But there's a really funny segment where that guy who gets choked by Vader like writes a report like, I'm filing a report. I was choked by Vader and I'm very upset. I didn't mean to insult his religion, but this is very inappropriate behavior. It's like a long whole stupid
That's all it is.
It's really funny, but it's like really detailed about like, it's really stupid. The book is terrible. But that section was funny and it reminded me of that. But after they go to the desert planet, this is when we see that cool party, the 42-year anniversary. Do you get what that's a reference to?
Is that to Star Wars?
Yeah, that's when A New Hope came out, 42 years ago.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, 42 years, yeah.
And it's all these weird, like, Cthulhu-looking things.
Yeah, these really cool-looking aliens. They're all dancing in unison.
All
cool.
dancing.
It's a very nice scene.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I was actually kind of hoping the song from India, Tuduk Tuduk.
I don't know that.
You've never heard that song?
No.
It's a big meme.
I don't know.
I was thinking some Bollywood song would be playing.
It was a very colorful, cool festival with all those tentacle monsters.
and of course, they're all like happy fun times in alien language.
And Rey's all like, "Oh, this is great," and everyone's like, "This is not where the Wayfinder is. We don't care."
and then we learned something else about Rey that we already knew if you watched the other two movies.
Yeah.
Some alien girl's like, "Here, have a necklace. What's your name?" She goes, "My name's Rey." And obviously through C-3PO, he's like, "Oh no, she wants to know your family name too." And she's just like, "I'm just Rey."
Yeah, I don't have one. That's like the last movie when she found out her family was nothing and sold her for drinking money, according to Kylo Ren.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then of course they try to find information on this holocron thingy.
Yeah, that's not holocron.
The holocron
Same.
From now on.
Yeah, I would want to.
Now I'm just gonna call it the holocron.
Yeah.
And as all of this is happening, Kylo does... Okay, what is this?
What?
this thing that Kylo does, where he's like inside her head,
and
they can like
you remember in the Last Jedi?
Things.
In the Last Jedi,
I know he can do that.
But that was connected by
they
said that it was Snoke who connected them in the last movie, but this one it says just that they're just two like dyads in the Force that are just like super light. And neither of them are light or dark specifically. They both like are very gray, pretty much.
They're very gray.
They said that Snoke said that he connected them last time, but then they still continued to have that connection where like they could interact and see each other where they were. Like remember,
because it was weird because Kylo Ren and Rey are like having that weird mind meld where Kylo's like in crazy Darth Vader fashion is just like, I will find you, I will hunt you down, you will join me, and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And she's like, no, I won't. And they literally have a physical duel with each other.
Not here, not yet.
I thought they did on this first one.
On the desert planet? No, they don't.
Okay.
They don't open lightsabers yet.
You're right. Oh, you're right. But so either way, it's like.
But he grabs her necklace.
Yeah, he grabs the necklace and he has it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, he's here, she's there. They
in the last
connect their mind, and yet he can physically take something from her.
In The Last Jedi, when they connected for the first time, she was like in a wet place and he was inside of a ship, and then he got wet from communicating with her where she was. It's very weird and it's Force magic. Don't even bother.
I was gonna say anyway.
Force magic can bring people back from the dead and make zombies. It can make starships out of nothing. Don't even start questioning it.
Anyway, but with this confrontation from Kylo and Ren,
Kylo and Ren.
Yeah, Kylo. Shut up. Kylo and Rey. Kylo's like, which by the way, remember how I said they're weird Cthulhu things?
Yeah.
This drove it in that they were Cthulhu's because he said they were in the Midian system.
Oh, did he say Midian?
Yeah, he said Midian.
Of course,
he said the Midian system.
Of course, if you know Lovecraft and Cthulhu lore, you'll get that reference.
And of course, Rey's like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
They know we gotta go.
And the stormtrooper's like, I found him, but then he gets arrowed in the face by Lando Calrissian.
By mysterious robot man.
Oh, yeah, who's revealed seconds later to be Lando.
And it's Lando Calrissian.
Chewie gives him a big hug, and it's all like, yeah.
It's a touching reunion for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then what the hell? They just leave after that?
Well, no. They tell him what they're looking for, and he's like, of course you are, because I was there with Luke.
Yeah.
And they talk about, what was the weird alien's name that had the information?
Oh, I'm not even going to bother trying to remember that dude's name, because he is not important.
Yeah, well, anyway, apparently, some alien guy...
Some alien Jedi hunter, it said it was.
Yeah, some Jedi hunter was, like, known to know information about this.
Yeah, he knows how to get there.
And so, of course, they go to find it. And as this is happening... Oh, we forgot to mention about Kylo and his crew, his new crew.
Who, Pride?
The
Red? They're not new. They were introduced in the first movie, completely absent in the second one.
It's actually been too long since I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
Because I saw it when it first came out.
You see a quick millisecond shot of them in Rey's flashback to the Jedi Temple. The Knights of Ren are supposedly students of Luke's from the Jedi Temple that was destroyed by Kylo Ren. Do they ever exhibit force powers? No. Do they use lightsabers? No. Do they suck? Yes.
You know how I knew they sucked?
Yeah.
Because first off, they don't really fight as much.
No.
And every time they stand around, the one thing that goes through my head is nobody expects the Kylo Inquisition.
They wish they were cool as Inquisitors.
I know. I can't really compare them to Inquisitors.
The Inquisitors are 100 times, even with their stupid helicopter blades, the Inquisitors are all way cooler than the Knights of Ren.
Excuse you.
They're all
Those
cooler.
were at the time the latest technology that was cooler, 10 times cooler, 15 times cooler than Darth Maul.
Darth Maul has one.
He doesn't have the propeller thing.
It's purposely broken. Remember? The one he uses in Rebels is a broken, busted Inquisitor one, because he just kills the Inquisitor because they're scrubs. What?
And thank you for catching the joke.
Yo, but I was going to say, that same busted lightsaber is in, spoilers for everyone who hasn't seen it, Solo. Because Darth Maul's in Solo, and he has a busted Inquisitor saber.
Well, thanks for that spoiler, because I haven't seen it yet.
Well, go see it.
Long and short happens.
Anyway, the Knights of Ren suck.
Yeah.
Kylo, hiding behind rocks.
They're like, they're just like sitting here like...
Hiding behind rocks and like being stupid and lame. It's very bad.
And then, they also send stormtroopers on speeders.
Yeah.
Because they
jump troopers.
Yep, see, that was another thing I liked.
Yeah.
They had jump troopers.
Yeah, and the whole, that line that was, people were hating on online, the commercial about, they fly now. But I think, either it was John Boyega or somebody else in an interview said, they've had flying troopers since the Clone Wars. People act like they're surprised, but, there were jump troopers way back in that first war.
There were. They've been there for a while, but I guess they just never had that ability.
They haven't encountered them. These ones look cooler. And also, once again, let me plug Battlefront 2. They're just introducing Battlefront 2 and they're dope.
Of course
they look great.
But then, of course, we get this awesome, like blaster scene and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool speeder fight where they're like the motorcycle ones and there's the two flying ones throwing like grenade launching at them. It's great.
Yeah, and then, of course, they go into some like kind of sinking sand.
They take them all out and they crash into a big sinking sand pit. And they just kind of fall into an underground
it's just an underground
lair
path. And
where they find the skeleton of that Jedi hunter, that loser.
Yep, and a knife.
Yeah, specifically a Sith dagger.
Yep, a Sith dagger with Sith encryption on it.
Yeah.
Which C-3PO can read, can translate. However, his protocol states that he is not allowed to reveal what it is.
Yeah, and also people are complaining, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would he... And also, did Anakin put that in when he programmed him? Because that wouldn't make any sense either. He mentioned, but then he goes on to mention that it was some kind of law passed by the Senate to not have him translated, which I'm like, okay, that's weird, but okay.
And, of course, Poe is upset about this. Yeah. Because he's like, wait, the one time we actually want you to talk, you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
And
also, we should mention that, this is the Sith daggers, the 14th MacGuffin introduced into the story that they need to get, because there are a ton in this movie. Between the two holograms.
MacGuffin number 2 out of 17.
This is number 3, because they're both of the Wayfinders, and then they find this knife. And we are going to introduce a couple of more because they find the corpse of that guy. That's when they find the knife. But then also they find a big giant snake. And they're like, oh no.
Snake worm thing. Oh no.
It's angry. It's going to get us.
Ray steps forward, telling everyone to drop down. And I'm like, ooh, is it where it's going to happen? I'll explain that in a little bit. Yeah. And of course, she walks forward. And for the second time in any visual kind of Star Wars media ever. First one, if any of you have seen it, comes from The Mandalorian. But this is the second time we actually see a Jedi of any kind using the Force to heal. Yeah,
this is the very first time, and it could have been very useful for the many Jedi who were killed in battle with a Padawan or something.
Well, yes and no. We figure out that after she heals the thing, it slithers away all
and reveals an exit to this weird underground tomb.
Yeah, right. Because Deus Ex Machina.
Of course.
But what we find out is she used some of her life to heal the thing.
Yeah, it's not visually shown or represented in any way. She kind of just explains it to BB-8.
Right. She just explains it. So we find out that she used her life to heal.
Yeah.
And then of course, what I was thinking was that she was going to pull an Ezra and
just talk to it.
Yeah, and try to let her guard down to actually communicate and control it kind of thing. But no, we can't have a Caleb Doom here.
There's been a couple of communicating to animal Jedi things that have happened in the series, but I was expecting her to do that, but she just healed it.
But anyway, so they escape, and as they're escaping, they try to go in the Jedi Hunter's old ship that's been there for
of course we day. After 3 or 4 shots of the Knights of Ren just ominously standing near it and then not being anywhere near it when they arrive for some reason.
Right.
Thanks, Knights of Ren.
Thank you, Knights who say Ren.
Yeah, pretty much. They're cooler than them.
Let's be honest. Even the Knights who say me were cooler than these guys.
Yeah, they really sucked.
But anyway, so as Poe and Finn are fixing the ship with Chewie. Hey, by the way, Chewbacca's in this.
Yeah, everyone's, but they're pretty much.
Apparently, there's a feeling
we also forget the plot point that's dropped. Finn, while they're sinking into sand, says, "Oh, Rey, I never told you something," and then he kind of just sinks without telling her. Then underground, he says, "What were you going to tell me?" And it's never addressed again.
Oh, he's like, "I'll tell you later."
Yeah, and Poe's like, "Oh, yeah, you'll never find out what that is if you."
Anyway,
I know what it is. They explained it online today.
Anyway, with that out of the way,
it's an important plot point that's not important. Like many things.
Yeah, like many things in this movie. But anyway, so Rey gets a feeling.
Yeah,
and she finds out, she's like, "I got to do this alone."
Yeah.
And as she's going over...
we should also mention the crew, the whole crew, Rey, Poe, Finn, C-3PO, BB-8, R2's with them? R2's not with them, he stayed back.
It's BB.
And Chewie, who's not with them, Rose Tico.
Rose Tico?
Yeah, exactly, the Asian girl from the last one.
Rose.
Yeah, Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's absolutely just absent because... written out of the movie for no reason. just sidelined for no reason because of negative reception from people online or whatever. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, unfortunately sidelined for no reason.
Speaking of negative reception, as the ship's getting fixed, Poe's like, "What's Rey doing? Chewie, get her. We have to go now." And Chewie's like, "Rah!" And then we see the Kylo Inquisition appear going,
Yeah, just standing behind the rock ominously, pointlessly.
Ominous turned like...
Ominously or pointlessly, you decide.
They're probably as edgy as he is, let's be honest.
They really suck. I can't get over it. But anyway, Chewie's walking from the ship. He should be between Rey and the ship. But like somehow he goes around a corner and disappears.
Yeah, and as this is all happening, we see Rey doing her like... stare off into the distance space where she looks like a deer caught in the headlights. Yeah,
and then we see the Kylo Ren's big giant fancy tie coming down, and this is when Finn jumps off the finally comes like, "Where's Chewie now? He's also disappeared," and just like sees now. If you pay attention, you do see two transports there for a literal millisecond, and then he focuses on one of them. Chewie's being kidnapped. He's being taken by the First Order.
Yes, he's being kidnapped, or he is being arrested by the Empire.
Yeah, well, the Empire?
Sorry, First Order.
Yeah, not the Empire yet. We're gonna get the Sith Empire at the end, but no, yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, he's being arrested by them. But you like for a split second, you see two transports, but then it focuses on the one for the entire rest of the scene, and then it cuts to the speeder.
Yeah, it cuts to
the TIE Fighter.
the TIE Fighter, where Rey does literally the $2 billion shot.
Yeah.
Where she turns around and lets Kylo come on forward. You know it's Kylo because it's got pointy wings.
Yeah, it's got bent pointy wings. And then she just does the back flip over it, cuts the wing off. It's really cool.
Yeah, we're talking like slow motion jump where she's like, this is like cool little... Yeah. It's like, the $2 billion shot.
Of course.
And of course, Kylo comes out and he's just like, how could you? I'll get you next time.
And then
she's like, no. She's like, no, you won't. Looks up. Oh no, Chewie.
She doesn't look up. Finn runs out and says, "They got Chewie," pointing to the ship.
They got Chewie. And
now,
and she's like,
one of the many dumb inconsistencies to point out during this movie. Why did those two idiot Ren people who spotted Chewie running, who were right below the ship where the entire rest of the crew was, decide to arrest Chewie and not the entire rest of the crew who they were right next to?
I don't know.
It's so stupid. Like they just let them go. Okay, and they caught just Chewbacca, and with a knife, great.
Yeah, Chewbacca with a knife.
They had two transports. They could have got the whole crew in there.
They could have.
They couldn't have stopped them. It was very dumb.
But then, of course, they
got Chewie.
Like, they got Chewie. Rey looks up and she's like,
she pulls a Star Killer.
she just pulls like this. Use the Force to pull.
Yeah.
And Ren's like, no, uses the Force to push.
Is he pushing or is he pulling it towards him?
It's hard to tell because you see a lot of give and take going on.
Yeah. Also, I don't know why he would have been pulling the ship, but it leans towards him for a little bit, so it means he's pulling it towards him, and then it goes back to her.
Yeah, and it's like, and then all of a sudden, Rey gets so frustrated that she's like, "I'm gonna pull even harder," and she doesn't pull; she pushes lightning out of her fingertips and destroys the transport.
Yeah,
Wait, are you serious right now?
Yeah, Chewbacca's
Rey used
dead.
lightning?
Yeah, that's insane. And Chewie's dead.
Yeah, and Chewie's dead. Yes, she literally. There's no going around it because that transport destroyed. Boom. Yeah, everything.
Big
carnage.
Fire.
Boom. Yes.
And
I said boom like 3 times, but whatever.
Yeah, and then she just joins Finn and they run into the ship.
And she freaked out over this, which. This is good. This is a new development. This is good. The good guy is using bad powers.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, but also we're introduced immediately to our first fake character death of the movie. There will be multiple. Because the literal next scene is Hux and Pride on the ship saying, "We got Chewbacca. He's alive. There was another transport."
Yep. Remember that thing Matt said earlier about a millisecond with 2 transports? Yep.
Yep, that fake
They
death
thought
was...
we wouldn't notice.
Yeah, it's very dumb.
And of course, they're fixing the ship and they're actually like going up to to try and save Chewie.
Yeah.
Even though they don't know where he is yet.
Yeah.
And so Rey's like, "I did it. I killed Emo Ren moment."
Yeah, she's very disappointed and sad in herself, but like they lost the dagger. What are we gonna do? And then this is when I think you went to the bathroom, so you missed the scene, I assume.
Yeah, I did. Well, I mean, this is the part that I got to.
Yeah.
Was C-3PO's like, "Hey, look, I
Oh no, he was like, "Yeah, there's no way to do it."
I have everything that was said on that dagger in my memory. Wait, we can just go into your head, and then I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What I missed was.
Yeah, what he said was like, "Oh, it's too bad we lost a knife. There's no way, except for it's in my memory. Oh well, what are we gonna do?" And they're like, "Oh, let's mind wipe him because Poe knows a black market droid smith." And this is when they go to the planet Kijimi.
Yep, and this is where I thought you left because I thought this was your first time watching it.
Oh yeah, no, I saw.
But then we find out that Kijimi is filled to the brim with Imperial troops.
Yeah, it's like World War II occupied town with like them going door to door, knocking on aliens' doors. And like, let me see your ID. Yeah, let me see your ID. Everyone, let me see your ID. Just going through door to door.
Yep.
They sneak around in hoods, which is a very cool scene. It's like this weird nighttime planet that they're occupying.
And all of a sudden, Poe gets a gun to the face.
Yeah.
Not shot, obviously, because we don't want another character fake death.
Yeah, not yet, anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, so we get a gun to the face, and we see
Zora
I'm not
Bliss.
sure. Yeah.
Zora Bliss.
Yes, Zora Blitz. But I'm not gonna lie.
Bliss.
I said Bliss, not Blitz.
You said Blitz.
I said Bliss.
Whatever.
Point is, correct me if I'm incorrect on this. Mm-hmm. She had some Mandalorian vibes going off of.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think she seemed very Mandalorian in her weird outfit.
No, I mean, mainly it's the whole helmet thing, like covering her face.
She had a full face covering helmet, weird thing. But like she tried to think about taking them for a second, but then she's
throughout the movie up to this point, everyone was like, hiding secrets and stuff like that. Like, and Poe was doing like shady things. It's like, oh, how are you doing these shady things, Poe?
Yeah.
And we finally reveal that from what's Bliss's name?
Zora Bliss.
Zora. Yeah. From Zora, that Poe used to be a spice runner.
Oh my god! What a degenerate.
Yeah. Oh, you want to know even worse? Rey was a scavenger. Oh no! But it's worse. It's worse.
Yeah.
Finn was a stormtrooper. Yes.
Yeah, they're all bad people.
Okay, long story short, the reason why I pulled it out like that was because they have a moment where all three of them are like arguing.
Yeah, I can't believe you ran spice.
Like that.
Yeah, it was very funny scene.
It was funny sort of, but anyway, long and short of it is
they take him to the droid smith Babu Freak. Freak. It's like F-R-I-K.
Wait, no.
It's F-R-I-K.
Okay.
Babu Frick or Freak. They say it differently.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those tomato potato things.
Anyway. Tomato or potato. What do you pronounce it? Anyway.
Anyway, as this is happening, Babu Freak.
This cute little alien dude.
This teeny tiny little guy who like speaks in half English.
Yeah, he's like being a very jumbled weird language.
We find out now the reason why C-3PO isn't allowed to say things like that, because his protocol states that if he ever translates forbidden text, he will immediately get his memory wiped.
They needed to wipe it to get his memory.
Is that
to undo the...
I thought it was a failsafe kind of thing.
No, it wasn't a failsafe. It was to get him to translate it, they will need to reset him before he had the protocol to not say it. So it was like just that they reset him. It's a very emotional scene, and technically the second... Well, not supposed to be, because this is technically the second character death of C-3PO, who we've known since the...
No, it's not a death, because they just wipe his memory.
Yeah.
That's
ego death. That's like Neon Genesis Evangelion shit. Don't you get it? It's high concept. High concept psychology.
No,
anyway.
I don't get Evangelion. I don't think anyone gets Evangelion.
It's high concept psychology. Anyway, technically he dies because they forget his memory. All the adventures.
But they learn from C-3PO
that this says the dagger's the way. The dagger. This is the planet. You need to go.
This is the way.
Yeah, no, not that coolly.
Yeah, I know.
But his eyes turned red for a second. He's all like, "Well, I don't even remember what the information."
Long and short of it is they had to go to like a moon that was close to Endor.
It's an Endor moon, but is it the same one or from the original series?
That's weird.
They said it was a moon.
Yeah.
But that was it's going to be a vast empty plane with a piece of storage.
But here's the thing: if it was a moon of Endor, that's a moon within a. That's a moon of a moon because
the force moon of Endor.
Endor is a moon.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's the force moon of Endor. The force moon of Endor is where the Ewoks are.
Yeah, I know.
So it's of Endor. It's not Endor. They never give us a name.
Anyway.
Endor is just an unimportant planet. That's not as important as... But is this the Force Moon? I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Point is they have to go to somewhere that's close to Endor to find this I almost called it a Horcrux. God damn it.
Horcrux?
Yeah, I know.
Why? Who's even talking about Harry Potter right now, you weirdo?
Horcrux. Get talking.
Are you about to say holocron? All right. But before they leave, Zora Bliss points out some weird magical sixth MacGuffin after C-3PO and after the dagger and after the holocrons.
That's why this is the Horcrux, because there's so many of these darn things.
I have this super First Order general chip that'll get you through any planet.
You can do anything you want.
Yeah, it's like 18th MacGuffin at this point, but yeah, it's like, oh, it'll just get you through any transport and go through anywhere. Like, oh, thanks.
And we have
when the reason that she gives them that is because like when Kylo Ren's ship shows up, because once again, every time anyone lands on any planet, the enemy will arrive seconds later, knowing exactly where they are on a vast planet.
Isn't that how all hero stories work?
Yeah, how all Star Wars works. You go to a planet of 7 billion people, you land anywhere in any city, your enemy will be right behind you seconds later, immediately in that area, in the vicinity.
But then, of course, as Kylo that's happening, they're like...
But she senses Chewbacca on Kylo's ship. And so it's like, we gotta go there.
And they go, using the MacGuffin.
Yep, using the MacGuffin chip. The fourth MacGuffin at this point.
Fourth potato chip?
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be important because they're gonna get the sword.
They use Deus Ex Machina chip to just casually land. And they're like, alright, we're gonna get...
What the heck is it? Oh, it's just drop by. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, then we get...
They have to go to his planet, so they take the ship, they go to the place with they go into his base.
No, they do they free Chewbacca, remember?
Yeah, I'm saying they're going to go
they go up and they free Chewbacca.
They just go have a big shootout, killing everyone in their path.
Yeah, but then Kylo does the thing again.
Kylo's ship arrives, Kylo comes down to the planet, they go up and onto Kylo's ship.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I forgot, we gotta stop that for the people listening.
Right. And then as this whole thing's happening, apparently Rey goes into Kylo's room, and... Because
she's like, I still need to get that, we need to make the knife a MacGuffin again, like what we have where the coordinates are. No, it needs to be another MacGuffin, we're gonna need it for a different plot point.
And then this is where my question stands, because... Kylo's like, I'm inside your mind, and yet they have a physical duel.
Yeah.
Like, Rey is on the ship, but in her mind, they are in, like, they're on the planet where Kylo is.
Not in their mind. Kylo's on the planet, he's seeing her there, she's on Kylo's ship, she's seeing him there.
And yet she cuts a basket.
Yeah, and it pops up in the other area. Yeah. That's how it worked in the last movie. It's very nonsense, force magic, don't even try.
Anyway, so as that happens, one of the stands where Kylo's grandfather's mask is...
Yeah, I'm not going to say Darth Vader. Just Kylo's grandfather, who cares who that guy is?
Nobody cares about Anakin Vader. But anyway, as that happens, Kylo's like, oh, you're in my room. Don't look under my bed. It's my porno.
Yeah, right. He's just like, oh, he reports to a random trooper's looking at him like, what the heck is he doing standing in the middle of things, swinging his lightsaber around? He's like, you, guy, random soldier. She's in my office. Tell him to shut it down. And so, what the heck is this thing Cup's going to run back and forth outside? Anyway.
Fire truck.
Oh, no, another one.
As all this is happening...
While they're having a shootout, and they are caught. Poe takes a shot in the arm, and they're caught by the First Order, by Pride and Hux. And
as they're getting ready to get shot down and executed, because that's Pride's like, execute them.
Yeah, Hux goes with the troopers to execute them.
And Hux is like, I want to do this. I want to enjoy this.
Yeah.
And spoilers, he betrays the First Order and says, I'm the spy.
Yeah, everyone's like, whoa, what?
Now you understand why I thought he was callous.
You thought that Hux is like, Callus would literally have been about like 60 years ago.
You don't know that. You don't fucking know that.
That doesn't make any sense. Also,
Hux is Lasats now.
Yeah, he lives with the Lasat. Oh, I was gonna say, Fallen Order, the Lasats are important. Lasat is important in that too.
Anyway, before we get off that tangent.
Yeah, of course. But like, Hux's father was in the First Order. He was with,
and of course, as
Gallius Rax and Sloane, who created the First Order.
Hux is like, all right,
if you know the bullshit,
I'm gonna free you guys. Go over there. There's the Millennium Falcon. It's fixed.
Yeah,
go now.
We forgot that they switched ships at some point because there's so much shit going on in this movie.
There really is
too much.
And of course, he's like, hey, you, shoot me in the arm.
Yeah,
get shot in the leg. It's like, why are you helping me? I don't care if you guys win. I just want Kylo to lose.
Yeah.
Because I hate that guy.
Yeah, what a great character that I hope sticks around for longer in this series. Anyway, next scene, he's shot by Pride and Dad.
Yeah, he's shot by Pride, and Pride's like, get Kylo... get the Supreme Leader.
Yeah,
because it's not the Emperor anymore, it's the Supreme Leader.
That's what Snoke was before Kylo killed him. But yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But he's like, I found our spy. And then, of course, Rey is just like, no, like, Rey's like, oh, we have to go to the blah 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 thingy.
The moon.
Yeah, the forest moon of Endor.
No, not the forest moon. It's a moon. It may or may not be the forest moon. We don't know.
Anyway, so they go to the thing, and they apparently, as they're flying, they find out that their landing gear's messed up.
Yeah,
because they fall.
Yeah, they crash land onto this planet.
Where we see this lady on like a weird horse thing.
Yeah, these weird like warthog-looking horses. I love those designs.
Those
look
things
really
look
cool.
amazing.
They look really cool.
And of course they're like, hey, let's walk this way. They walk this way, and they find the remnants of the original
It's the second Death Star.
Yeah, I know. The original, not the one in The Force Awakens.
That was Starkiller Base. That was a planet.
Point is, it was supposed to be a Death Star, and it got exploded.
It's the second one that was destroyed over.
But it was the the second Death Star from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
which by the way, this movie, one thing I did like about it is all the little callbacks to the back, the subtle callbacks to like Return of the Jedi and stuff like that.
Subtle.
I'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah, but anyway. I was gonna say, also people complaining about how it looked like the Death Star like vaporized into like a poof of smoke in the end of Return of Jedi, but there are like huge chunk halves of it on this planet, of course. Well, why not?
but anyway, they're like, how are we gonna find it? It's gonna take us years to find it.
Luckily, Rey, I have a MacGuffin.
Yeah, apparently Rey finds out through the MacGuffin that there's a little extendy MacGuffin.
Yeah, a little compass thing that's really like, the solution.
I can find this out because I know things. I'm the hero. I can do anything.
Yeah,
and
this is very dumb.
She lines up the debris of the Death Star to the shape of the knife.
Yeah.
Where the golden MacGuffin thingy, that's like the compass thing.
Yeah, MacGuffin
points
3.6
to
or whatever.
The exact location as to where they need to go to find the holocron.
Yep. Not a holocron, but yeah. Thank goodness that this MacGuffin has an extendo MacGuffin to help us find the other MacGuffin. Thank goodness.
Thank MacGuffin. And speaking of MacGuffins, we find that lady who was on the warthog horse thing with her crew, and she's like, "Are you rebellion? I don't know."
Oh, not rebellion. It's the resistance now.
I'm sorry.
Totally different.
Are you resistance? I don't know. Are we? We had a call from this from Freak.
Yeah.
He said that you guys would come. Okay, we're resistance. Okay, we're resistance then. And of course she's like, "I'm gonna fix your thing."
Yep.
And she
says, "You can't go to the base now."
Ray's like, "But I want to go now." And they're like, "No, go to fix ship. Because look at that water.
There's a reason that we also forgot really early, a really quick line that the Emperor's message in the beginning said they have 16 hours. So the course of this entire movie takes place over 16 hours before all those Star Destroyers are going to go and destroy planets. Yeah. So. And I think this is around the time when finally the Emperor sends... Oh, no, not yet. Not till after the fight.
Yeah, I was going to say, not yet.
It's not, anyway. But, like, yeah, she says, go tomorrow. And it's like, it's going to be too late tomorrow. We can't go tomorrow because we only have 16 hours, supposedly. We've been to 6 planets, but it's only 16 hours.
Anyway, but yeah, with all that, the weird lady who's like, yeah, look, here's some parts to help fix your ship. And
Finn's like, this is a First Order part.
Yeah, these are for First Order. She's like, yeah, I used to be First Order. And Finn's like, oh.
I was a First Order troop, and they're like, oh, me too. And this is an important scene because she says that her entire company just suddenly felt what they were doing is wrong, and they stopped firing on civilians. This is important because Finn says, I know how you knew, because I also just had a feeling. Now, recently it just came out what he was going to tell Rey on that planet when they were sinking in the quicksand, and why all this stuff has been happening around Finn. Finn and all of the other First Order troopers are Force-sensitive children.
I got that feeling when Finn started having like the kind of thing.
It was vaguely hinted in the first series.
So the First Order troops are Force-sensitive.
Supposedly, yes. Yeah, all those stormtroopers that they wiped out are just like callously were just Force-sensitive kids that they were murdering. But yeah, it's very bizarre. It's very weird.
Force-sensitive kids to kill Force-sensitive kids.
Yeah, but none of them
are trained. Where does it end?
None of them are trained even slightly in the Force, which would have been way more helpful.
Yeah, right.
But
dude,
then fucking stormtroopers that get taken out by a single bolt.
Dude, remember in I've only heard mention of this from like books and stuff. Like the actual like elite guard that used the Force. The
red guys from the original series that were standing next to the Emperor with the Force spikes were supposedly Force sensitive people. Yeah.
Yeah. and how they actually utilize that to their advantage. Well, screw you, First Order. You don't get to be that cool.
Yeah, the First Order is like really weird and bizarre, and their origins are very complicated in the EU.
Long and short of it is Finn and whatever her name is.
Yeah, I forget. She gives her stormtrooper number, but I think she has a weird name. I can't remember what it is.
They're like, yeah, you know, we're totally friends now. And then Poe's like, where's the plot? I mean, where's Rey?
Yeah, where's Rey? What's going on?
And then Rey is taking a skitter or whatever it was called.
Yeah, skiff or whatever thing to the Death Star ruins.
And they're like, what is she doing? I'm sitting here like, yeah, go chase her. And they're like, we gotta go chase her. And so they do. Well, I mean, Finn and other girl go and chase.
Yeah. Also, like, weird thing about this character, it feels like Finn was turned into the Black Widow of the series, because this is like his third false love interest to this girl.
Oh my!
After
goodness.
Rey in the first one, and then Rose in the second one.
Yeah.
And then now this girl who I don't remember the name of, who's not important.
he's becoming. Oh wait, I can't say that yet because we haven't done that episode yet. Anyway, so yeah, as that's happening, we actually get a cool scene, in my opinion, because we actually get to see the inside of the remains. It's this husk of
the Death Star,
the second Death Star.
It's very cool. Yeah, very cool visually.
And second callback, the second of many callbacks to like what I was saying to Return of the Jedi. The song that's playing
is the Imperial March, right?
No, it's the Imperial March version when Luke takes off Vader's mask.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
See, I catch this stuff. See, I'm the music guy. He's the everything else guy.
Well, speaking of music guy, did you notice 2 cameos on Kijimi?
On Kijimi?
Yeah.
To be honest, no.
It was John Williams, the composer for all the Star Wars movies, and Lin-Manuel Miranda of Hamilton, who also helped make the music for this new series of movies.
I should have been able to catch John at least.
Yeah, they're both at the Kijimi place for a quick second. Also, random thing in Babu Freak's workshop, there was a battle droid in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is what happens when I've only seen the movie once.
Yeah. It's a very quick thing.
But still, either way, I'll have to rewatch that now just to see these little cameo things, just like with Rogue One.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Rogue One's worth a couple of watches.
So we get back in, and we actually see like the weird window that Palpatine used to sit by, and his like wheelie chair thing.
Wheelie chair? I don't think it was a wheelie chair, just a spinning chair.
It was wheelie from side to side, not forward and backwards.
But anyway,
and as this is happening, we see just a door open.
Yeah,
and we hear,
it's a side door that you can see in the shot in the original with Vader, Luke, and him. You can see that door on the side.
Mm-hmm. And there was like these weird whispers. They're like actually kind of ominous, creepy whispers. Yep. And as she walks in, we see some Finn and the other girl like, oh, we can make it.
Yeah, they're soaring to the place.
Anyway, aside from that, we cut back and we actually hear like those whispers getting a little louder, and we find out, hey, look, it's another Sith Wayfinder. Yeah, I actually got it right this time.
Yeah, finally, we have the other MacGuffin.
Yeah, the other MacGuffin.
One. The other MacGuffin.
And speaking, and as that's happening, we hear a voice going, "Did somebody say you found the MacGuffin?" And we find once again that friggin' Kylo Ren.
Oh no! Before that, we get that really quick scene that was shown in trailers that freaked everyone out, and everyone was like conspiracizing about with Dark Rey.
Oh yeah,
with the double lightsaber, the switch lightsaber
that could actually like
close into 2. Yeah, that was really really cool. I wish that was shown in like concept and stuff. That would have been really cool. If that was an actual like concept.
At that point,
yeah,
my mind went to. My mind at first was like, this could be good too, with like the whole lightning thing. To this movie has hope yet. I'll get to that at a certain point.
Yeah, because like I was really like from all the marketing and stuff, people were saying like, "Oh, is Rey a clone?" Because that was a theory before. Like, is she a clone of the Emperor?
Why is she a thing? Clones?
I don't mind clones. Like Starkiller in 2 was really cool because that came out a lot of cool stuff. But anyway, people like I thought like, oh, like, people saw that image and people were saying, "Oh, Rey's like a weird clone created by the Emperor, and that's an evil one of her." That's what I thought, and I would have like preferred that to what's going to happen in the rest of the movie. But like, I like that
something else.
I like that double-sided lightsaber thing with
Switch. Dude, that was amazing.
Yeah, I wish that that the character was put in a Battlefront 2 because it's a really cool concept for like a cool lightsaber. But like that Murder versus that thing again, but it was literally a less than 3 seconds of that character, the Dark Rey.
Yeah, unfortunately.
She goes outside.
It was like Emperor Strikes Back when Luke was fighting Vader in Dagobah, but it turned out it was him.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
It was pretty much like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, now after that scene, because you're right, that was an important scene. That was a cool scene.
It was not important. It was cool though.
it was important because it was cool.
I guess.
But anyway, we get that friggin' Kylo Ren, like, oh, did somebody find the MacGuffin? Uses the Force. You can't go here without me. Crush!
Yeah.
MacGuffin destroyed.
No! What are we gonna do?
And Rey and Kylo have a duel, only this time, it's not a mind battle. Kylo was there.
Yeah, he's actually there, popping up on the indoor moon, exactly where she was. Seconds later, like on every planet. Like on every planet. Also, forgot to mention at some point, you were gone because you were in the bathroom way back. But like the little robot Dio, the little wheel robot, the
little cylinder face.
voiced by J.J. Abrams.
That was Abrams?
Yeah, of course. That's not masturbatory at all. But anyway, the little robot who's going to be important later is just like being like, he's very polite, doesn't want to be touched, and it's very funny. But that robot's also with them for some reason. You'll find out later why.
But anyway.
Kylo Ren and Rey have a very cool duel on the big giant water.
It was actually really cool.
Very cool.
And, you remember that time I said, hey, this movie has some hope yet? Mm-hmm. Well, this went to, okay, my theory is showing that it's going to be correct. Because as they're dueling, and of course, Finn and other girl are like, oh, Rey, don't do it. And Rey's like, no, Force push. Force jumps away from them to like the other side, and there was more hope, and my theory was coming to fruition slowly and surely because Rey, as Rey's like having this duel, back on foresty area where the Resistance are,
Resistance planet,
Carrie Fisher, Leia is like she has like a Yoda moment where she's like, I have a bad feeling, and some random alien is just like
Maz Kanata.
I don't remember Maz Kanata.
She's literally been in like every single movie. She's the one who gave them who gave Rey the lightsaber, which is not Luke's lightsaber. It is Anakin's lightsaber from the original series that Luke got in A New Hope.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't green.
Yeah, you're right. He made his own green lightsaber. Yeah. But no, it's Maz gave them that. She's the pirate queen. She's been in a ton of EU stuff. She was also for a quick see a weird mission shot in Last Jedi too. But she's been there the whole time.
Yeah, well,
she gets exposition saying if she tries to contact Rey or Kylo Ren, it's going to be the end of her.
She's like, what she has to do, she knows, but it will take the rest of her strength. Yeah. And we find out why. Because as Kylo and Rey are fighting, Kylo just stops.
Yeah.
And all we see is like a silhouette of Leia saying, Ben. And then she lays down, and as this is happening, Kylo stopped. Rey takes his lightsaber and stabs him in the not the gut.
It's like the gut. It's like the liver.
It was like kind of like
on the side.
The sideline, and like a killing blow.
Yeah.
And that's when Leia's hand goes limp.
Yeah. She finally passes away from the series after all this time. Princess Leia.
That hit too hard.
That was that. Well, I'll say what happened a little bit later. What really hit me, but
anyway. But then of course Rey realizes what she did. My thought went to, yes, Kylo Ren is dead. And my theory is
quit banging
true.
The table.
I'm sorry. I'm excited because I was like, and my theory is going to actually happen. And then she proceeds to use the healing power.
The Force healing power once again.
First time you didn't notice, apparently. But that was the first time I flipped off the screen.
I saw a couple of your flip-offs.
That was the first one. The first one, I flipped off the screen. Because, great. We had to have a happy freaking... Anyway. But then, of course, she's like, I have to go. Yeah. And then in her apparently just British accent I gave her just now.
She has a British accent.
Yeah, but not,
she jumps in
like that.
She jumps in his special TIE fighter and they fly off. She goes to Exegol.
Yep.
She flies off alone to... No, not Exegol.
Yeah, she does.
She flies off to the planet Octo. No, she flies to the planet from Last Jedi where Luke was.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. So she goes to fly there. And of course, Kylo's like, what just happened? How did I get healed? Kind of thing. Yeah. Only it's Kylo Ren, so it's in that dumbfounded look on his face that he always has. And then of course, Finn sees Rey flying away. And he's like, "What is she doing? What's going on?" And so we cut to a very odd cut because Poe and crew are back on that forest planet.
No, Finn and the girls see him coming towards them with the Millennium Falcon to pick them up.
Oh, right.
And then they go back to that forest planet where that's happening. Is this when we cut to when
we find
Kylo sees the thing?
What?
This is when Kylo sees Han.
Not yet, because this is when they find out that
on the Force Play. This is the one scene that when I originally saw it in theaters last week, I literally almost teared up by Chewie's reaction.
No,
because he's the last.
You're right.
Yeah, I literally was like, I was teary eyed, like because he literally he's the last one. He's the only one alive now, and he's the only one remaining. And it's like he's all.
What about Lando?
Yeah, Lando. For
for
the original crew, because Lando only came in at the end, he screwed them.
I was hoping you'd be like, what about Lando?
Yeah, because he's not there right now, I don't think.
But anyway,
yeah, when he broke down and punching the ground and on his knees crying, I literally was tore up. Yeah, that tore me up.
No.
Yeah, I legit was like tore up by that because he's like last.
And of course they had
crew.
like the scene where like Leia's body's covered and everyone's like so sad. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, that was a really sad sequence. But like that's when Poe is in charge as general and they're forming their plan. And this is when the little I literally can't keep track now of the MacGuffin. Dio, the robot, says, "I have absolute plans on how to take down Exegol. All the strategy you need, but we still don't have a map. What are we gonna do?"
And of course,
thanks, Dio, the MacGuffin. This is when we go back to Octo and the burning of. She's for some reason burning the
Starfighter and all that stuff, and she's like
TIE fighter. Yeah,
she's like, I'm mad. What should I do? And she throws her lightsaber, and it gets caught.
Yeah.
By Kylo.
By Mark Hamill.
Yeah, by Mark Hamill. By Ghost Mark Hamill.
Yeah, by actually a Force Ghost. Yes.
Yep, the Force Ghost of Luke Skywalker, and he's like in sassy Hamill way. He's just like, you're just gonna throw this away?
Yeah, it's the most important thing in the world. And he looks at the camera and then flips off Rian Johnson, the director of Last Jedi.
Pretty much.
I saw that was the funny thing I saw. Nine people said.
Right. I
turned the camera and said, "F you, Rian Johnson." That's like the 20th one of this movie.
But anyway, and of course, something we did not explain when Rey was like doing meditation at the very beginning, she was trying to contact all the Jedi of the past.
Was she?
Yeah, she was, because she was like, be with me.
Yeah. Come to me.
And she couldn't.
Yeah.
This is the first time it actually happens. Because Force Ghost.
I don't think the Force Ghost said him deal with that. I think she just coming to her off its own.
Anyway, so he's just like, okay, so let me level with you, Rey. And to those of you who know Star Wars, this is basic knowledge. He's like, okay, let me level with you, Rey. The reason why you're like having this conflict and all that stuff is because of your fear. You gotta tell me what you're afraid of. She's like, I'm afraid of me, because another plot point we didn't drop when she was fighting Kylo on the ship.
Yeah, we totally forgot about this whole important thing.
Yeah, is we finally figure out what Rey's last name is, because we know Kylo Ren was Ben Solo. Yeah. Even though technically he could be a Skywalker because of Leia.
Yeah, he is a Skywalker technically too.
Well, we find out that Rey's last name is. Let me do this.
All right, go ahead.
Rey Palpatine.
Yeah, a theory that was crafted since The Force Awakens, but finally confirmed now. Like one of the many other FUs to Rian Johnson because his undoing his plot line.
This was one of my favorite things, actually. Hearing that she was actually the granddaughter of Palpatine.
Yeah.
Theory crafting in my head was going on.
Of course, everyone was.
But anyway.
We find out in the flashback that the Jedi Hunter killed her mother and father. The father was the son of Palpatine.
Yes.
Well, I don't even remember when we found that out, but that was a while ago. We just didn't mention it.
But anyway, so she's afraid of herself. Back to her talking to Luke.
Yeah.
She's afraid of herself. And Luke's like, you do know that there's a lot more than just blood that makes a person who they are, yeah? And she's just like, but I don't know. And he's like, look, being a Jedi, like the ultimate thing about being a Jedi is facing your fear. So why don't you just go face your fear?
Yeah.
And she's like, I will. And she's like, but I can't because I destroyed my ship. And Luke, in another callback to Star Wars, pulls a Yoda where you see his ghost.
Oh no, it's pulling a Luke because he couldn't do it. In the thing with Dagobah, he was unable to pull the TIE fighter out.
Yeah. Well, no, Rey's pulling a Luke. Luke is.
No, I'm saying Luke's pulling a Luke because he's fulfilling the thing he couldn't do in the past. He's doing it himself now. That's more his development than copying Yoda, I think.
Anyway, but he did. He learned that from Yoda.
He learned it by trying it himself and failing. He's not copying Yoda. He's fulfilling his lesson. It's him. It's his arc. as a ghost after he died.
Long and short of it is he pulls his X-Wing from
Yeah.
underneath the water, which apparently can still work.
Yeah, people were saying, like, in the last movie, when you saw, in The Last Jedi, when you saw it underwater, like, it was broken.
Yeah.
But people were saying, like, oh, no, it was fine. It was seaweed. It was just seaweed.
It was just seaweed. And guess what? Apparently it was.
Yeah, turn the camera for the fourth time, F you, Ryan Johnson. Back to the movie.
But anyway, so he pulls it out, pulling a Yoda.
Pulling, like, Luke. Fulfilling Luke's character arc.
Anyway, and Rey's just like, okay, I'll just go into this, like, years old in the water kind of ship.
Yeah, this ancient TIE fighter sucks.
One of the things I didn't like that almost made me facepalm was the fact that they even gave her the helmet.
That she still had the one that she used at the beginning of the series?
The X-Wing helmet.
Yeah. Remember at the beginning of the series when she was just a desert bum? She had a fake one. She had one that was busted. Yeah.
She had it again.
I was like, one, I'm assuming.
I was like, oh my goodness. And this is when we find out that she's flying to...
Exegol.
Yeah, Exegol. I'll never remember that name.
Through that weird nebula field. Like,
and
now,
as this is happening...
She's sending out
Robot, she's sending off her coordinates. So a robot dude who's like, hey, I have Deus Ex Machina number 500.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, who's that? I don't know. That could be anything. That could be... And Finn is just like, it's Rey.
How do you know?
A feeling.
Whoa.
Whoa. And then, like, she is showing us the way.
Yeah, shut up. Your dank memes. But yeah, like, she gives them a plot point to how to get there. Now, this is the thing I saw about people, like, yelling about, like, how J.J. Abrams doesn't understand how space works. Because why were the planets all flying through that weird, fiery, red nebula thing when it's, like, just star fields above, below, around, to the left of it? Like, if you need to get to Exegol, why don't you just fly around that stupid thing?
Because it would probably take much longer.
Yeah, but you're literally, like, hyperspeed jumping.
Force magic, don't question
That's not even the Force.
No, it is. Everything is the Force.
No, it binds us, and it's in all living things, and it's the
midichlorians. It's evil Force magic, because obviously, in order to be a Sith magic, you have to. That's your first lesson: is flying through that nebula.
Yeah, apparently, not making undead people. That's what are they called? Dathomir witches stuff. Making zombies.
Oh, you mean like the Dark Sisters?
The Night Sisters.
The Night Sisters.
Yeah.
Anyway,
those zombies
before we get into that, Rey makes it to the planet.
Exegol.
And I'll never remember.
Not Corbin.
But she starts going in, and this was crazy for me. Then we cut to Kylo Ren.
Oh, yeah. This
is when we finally get it. And we see Kylo just standing on the edge, just like, what am I going to do? Oh, we also forgot to mention that when Rey was on Octopath or whatever it's called.
Exegol or the other one?
The one where she talked to Luke.
Endor Octo?
Yeah, Octo.
Yeah,
whatever.
Octo.
She got a new lightsaber. A second lightsaber.
Oh, Leia. We flash back and see that Leia...
we find out that
Leia was
actually,
Force-trained.
Yeah, was Force-trained and actually did have a lightsaber.
But she saw that her son would die if she became a Jedi. I think that's what he said, offhandedly.
And so he's like, oh, so she kept it here. So anyway, so she has two lightsabers now. That's an important plot.
Very important.
Because now Kylo Ren's like, what do I do? And all of a sudden he hears, hey kid. Everyone knows the voice.
Yeah.
It is an old Harrison Ford because he turns around and you see Han Solo.
Yeah, hair not cut, barely not shaved, crazy looking.
and of course, Kylo's like, I killed you. You're just a memory. He's like, yeah, your memory. And guess what? Kylo Ren died.
Yeah.
Because Ben,
you can't say your own name? So Ben Solo can live?
Ben Solo's alive.
Yeah.
I almost said Kenobi. That's why I was freaking out.
That's not his name either. It's Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I know, but still.
She named him Obi-Wan, but whatever.
Anyway, so he's just like, yeah, you know what you need to do. He's like, and Kylo's like, getting ready, doing that scene again where it looks like he's about to stab him again.
I don't know, I know they need to do it, but I don't have the strength to do it. Yeah, that's really cool.
And he's like, yeah, you'll do it. And what does Kylo do? He turns on his lightsaber and kills his dad. I mean, no.
Flings it into the sea.
He actually takes his lightsaber and throws it into the water.
Yep.
And then he leaves.
No, you forgot about the one other line. He's like, Dad, and he says, what do you say? The same thing I know.
Oh, yeah, he's
call
like,
back to his
I know.
Yeah, it's calling back to Han's line from Empire.
Yeah.
Nice little cute scene.
Oh, my God. Well, it's not cute when it's family like that.
Really?
Anyway, that horrible joke aside, we go back to, Poe like, hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this plan and blah blah blah, destroy a tower.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
Lando,
blah.
you take the Falcon and Chewie, and you guys get some help. We're all gonna fly through this nebula and get to that Sith base.
Yep. And of course they fly through and they see the before that. Actually, before that, after that is planned, we actually get to see what one of the Star Destroyers is capable of doing.
Yes, they destroy Kijimi. When he said, when the Emperor's talking to General Pride, he says, I destroy a planet they know, my mind immediately went to Tatooine. That would have been much more impactful than fucking Kijimi. Like, who gives a crap about Kijimi?
Oh yeah, by the way, everyone on Kijimi is dead.
Yeah.
No more Frick or Frike.
Oh yeah, he's totally sure he's dead.
No more
Babu
more,
Frick or Zora Bliss.
Yeah, none of them.
Those characters you all know and love.
Yeah. You know. Well, at least
not
Poe,
Kijimi.
At least Poe knew and loved one of them.
No, not Kijimi. My favorite planet from Star Wars history.
Anyway, let's get to the nitty-gritty. And by the way, kids, this was one of the more interesting things. It was a Star Destroyer.
Yep, an old-looking one from the original
that had
series.
the capabilities of the entire Death Star.
It destroys the planet Kijimi, which we all know and love from Star Wars history.
We
Gone forever. I know what I'm saying. I'm just saying it destroys that planet.
Yes.
It doesn't now say that it does not look as cool as Rogue One's Star Destroyer, not fully functional Star Destroyer destruction of a planet. That was cool.
Oh yeah, that was.
But the actual blowing up looks like a weird old school prop, weird like exploding, cracking up planet. Looks crazy and weird.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is something people are complaining about. But in case you forgot, in The Last Jedi, we see that they have Death Star weapons they can just make whenever they want.
Right.
So it's not crazy for those Sith Sith Star Destroyers to be capable of that.
I even watched it. Like The Last Jedi recently because of this movie, and even I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very dumb thing that takes like an hour to but also people complaining about like it was melting the X-wing, but not wearing any protection. Finn was perfectly fine in the middle of the beam.
But then as that's happening, we see like the I wanted to say the rebellion, but we see the resistance flying through, oh no, we can do this, and then we see Rey walking through, like, going down the elevator.
Yeah, riding the elevator
ominous,
down.
And I'm like, yes.
Hearing all the zapping lightnings.
Yep.
And
it was so cool. She even sees, like, the Snokes and stuff like that. And all that stuff, and she's walking through. And she, like, goes down a corridor. And we get another cut where it's like, oh, the resistance is planned. They're actually doing some fighting and stuff.
Yep.
Who cares about that? We're going back to this.
Yeah. Well, we see the planes all flying. We're like, wow, look at the size of that fleet. That's crazy. Their plan, if you care, which I know I really didn't, was that, like, for some reason, this fleet of Star Destroyers isn't capable of warp travel to specific places.
Because of without a tower.
Yeah. Why was this the case? Who knows?
They needed
a MacGuffin. MacGuffin. That's why it was. We are short on MacGuffins. We only have 18 in this movie. We need to destroy that tower. But don't worry. When they arrive, they shut down that tower and they change the MacGuffin to the tower on the lead ship.
I was gonna say they didn't shut down the tower.
Oh,
they just stole the MacGuffin and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, they just put it on. No, not that MacGuffin. We need another one. Put it on top of the Star Destroyer with Pride.
Even better. It was like, what? You thought that was the MacGuffin? No.
You fools.
This is MacGuffin.
You fools.
Wait. Hey.
Yeah.
Can we just... Can I get to the good part now?
No, because we have to explain we have to question where the heck all these people came from. Who is on those Star Destroyers and where did they come from?
the
Sith Troopers.
Yeah, is that what that their official name? Sith
and I'll
Troopers?
say it once more. Yeah, they are in Battlefront 2 and they are dope. In this movie, who cares?
Yeah, anyway.
They don't do anything impressive.
But yeah.
They're not force trained and they don't do anything cool.
Yeah, they literally don't do anything.
They just look cool.
Yeah, they're literally
Red Stormtroopers.
Yeah, that's all they are. They even miss as well as them too. But anyway,
they're as ineffectual.
So now, screw you, Matt. Let's get into this because I have a lot to say about this.
This planet makes no sense.
From a certain point of view.
I'm drinking the water and almost spit it all over Ben.
We get to Rey looking at inside the heart of the Sith temple, where we see this big throne, and we hear all of the hooded figures chanting something. I'm gonna assume in Sith.
Yeah, but also there's like thousands and thousands of like multiple stadium bleachers full of people. Now this is where I have to say, are they just Sith acolytes?
I think
fans
that's
of
exactly
the Sith?
what they are.
Like there was a dude.
Like remember Rogue One? Like the guy
who approached Vader, who's like,
yeah.
Vader. But also, like, this is another like background build-up EU thing. The big dude who played Matthew Parkman in Heroes with a beard, he was a rebel pilot, a resistant pilot in this thing.
Yeah.
His name is Snap Wexley, and this character has a very decent 3-book series starting from episode 6, where he's like a little kid, and it goes through all this crazy stuff. It's a really good book series. Aftermath, I recommend it. It's 3 parts. It explains where the First Order came from. It explains who these acolytes are, because there are a bunch of hooded Sith acolytes collecting dark side relics throughout the background of that series. So if you read that, you'd know. Now, during this big battle, this character, Snap Wexley, dies. That was the biggest emotional punch that I had throughout this whole movie.
Okay.
It's very important to that character, but he is like not important at all to anybody who hasn't read those books or doesn't know the EU.
You're seeing,
you didn't even know or care about that character.
I was gonna say you're seeing two sides of this, because he's actually like, he knows this guy.
I was devastated when he died.
Oh my goodness, this is devastating. Me, I'm just like, okay, goes over.
That guy who was like, oh, you guys, this is gonna be bad. That guy, well, who cares? Like, that was a huge major character that I was really emotionally punched by him dying. But in that book series Aftermath, in the background, you do see these weird, creepy old people who are all hooded and weird, just like slinking around in the background and collecting Sith artifacts. I assume that's who these thousands and thousands of people are we've never seen before in the entire series.
Too.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. It's never explained. It's very weird.
But anyway, and then we get, honestly, I don't care what you say, this right here was the coolest part of this movie.
Her encounter with the Emperor?
Yes. Because all of these weird Sith acolytes are like,
chanting,
Hunga, whatever.
Hunga, whatever.
Hunga, chunga, hooga, chaga. Anyway, they're like doing the Sith chant. And, of course, like a weird puppet on a weird, like, marionette, like, robotic thing, you see the Emperor. He's like, And this is why it didn't make sense, because on multiple occasions, he told Kylo Ren to kill her.
I don't think he said kill.
He did.
I think he said bring.
Anyway, because, well, why would he say bring if his first line to her is, I never wanted you dead?
Yeah. Why would he tell Kylo to kill him if that was his first line?
Because he's a deceiver.
Oh my god, he told him to bring her, he told Kylo to bring her to him.
No, he said, kill her.
His literal plan is for her to kill him.
All of this will be yours. Knowing, because it's Palpatine, and yes, Palpatine has been known to do this,
of course,
that she would succeed and he would fail.
I don't think that's the case. He did not say kill.
Because does anything in this movie make sense?
No, it does not.
Exactly.
His plan doesn't make sense. Which is what we're about to get to now. It's
this is I think the coolest thing. Do it.
Yeah.
He devised this whole plan. Because one of the things that was said by Luke was that since Rey is like a Jedi,
all the Jedi 1,000 generations
reside
in you now.
And now the Emperor is like, kill me in your hate and your scorn, and my spirit will go through you, and you will house 1,000 generations.
Oh, sorry about that, listeners.
of Sith.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, this is it. This is the moment. I was waiting for this all the time. And, Palpatine's like, yes. And he's like going through, he even states that this is a ritual.
Yeah.
Like a Sith ritual. I'm like, this is cool. This is good. Come on. And he's just like explaining what's going to go on. But before that happens, she, of course, is resilient. And she's like, I'll never do it. Meh. And he's like, oh yeah? Snaps his fingers. A big old like doorway thing opens up,
reminiscent of Return of the Jedi.
Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, no, Return of the Jedi.
Yes. And he's like,
she sees all the people. Your friends are dying.
Yeah, your friends are dying. But if you do this, you can save them. Do it.
Yeah. Strike me down.
Kill me.
Strike me down.
Give in to your anger. Yeah. I like how both of us are doing different. But anyway, and this was awesome. I'm like, yes, come on, because I'll get to it in a moment. But I'm like, yes. I mean, as she's getting ready, and as Palpatine's explaining what all the steps of what's going to happen.
Yeah, we see Kylo Ren finally landing on a TIE fighter. And
no, he doesn't land on a TIE fighter.
He's in a TIE fighter.
He's in a TIE fighter.
Yeah,
and he lands on the planet.
Oh, really? Shut up with just dumb semantics.
Anyway,
he jumps on a big giant chain that hilariously he's like, ow.
He gets to fight the Knights of
Ren.
Oh boy.
Those losers who suck.
Anyway.
Now, this is another point of contention. Why the heck do these Knights of Ren, who were literally his team, his boys, from way back in their training days, all with Luke, why are they bringing for the Emperor?
Because the Emperor.
That doesn't make any sense. It's very stupid.
Anyway.
It's very dumb that these... And also, why don't any of them use lightsabers? We already went over that. It's very stupid. They're very lame. They have weird, rusty, old, shitty guns and shitty swords and shit.
They have, like, real weapons, not laser weapons.
Yeah, it's very stupid. I will say that the Temple Guards in the last one with Snoke were 100 times cooler.
Oh, definitely.
They had, like... I don't know if those were vibro or just lightsaber enhanced weapons.
I think those were vibro.
I don't know, but they had like vague lightsaber-esque energy on like whip swords, like Ivy and axes and pole arms, and they were really cool and they were a really good fight. Also, they put up a much better fight than these losers did because they were just like kicking Ren in the knees and like bumping him with the hilt of their swords until Rey does the whole force connection between them.
Yeah, apparently because
the Emperor's ordering. The Emperor's
she's
going to remove her weapon, and then she's going to approach me, and then she's going to attack me.
Okay, like I said, doing step by step thing.
Yeah, as he says it, she's doing it.
Because they're all chanting and stuff. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. She pulls a now you see it. Puts it behind, getting ready to swing, and then she like moves her hand. Like,
she holds her head open like it's gone. He's just like we just got close up on like Emperor's like, eh. It's like a weird look on his face.
And then we see Kylo Ren has it, and he immediately destroys the Knights of Ren.
Of course, he just whoops all their butts and throwing them over, cutting off their arms. I'm just like, none of them have any training for this.
She pulls out her second lightsaber.
He force pushes them around, and I'm like, what the heck is happening?
Right, yeah.
They suck.
She pulls out her second saber, and the Emperor's like, fine, you're going to be weak? Fine, kill her.
Yeah,
and those awesome Sith troopers, we get to see them in action.
Those are Sith. Those are just I don't know what the hell they were because they weren't Sith like stormtroopers. They were wearing different outfits from Ren and those people. I don't know what they were even called, but they all had like guns and they all sucked.
Yeah. They walk forward and Rey destroys them.
Yeah,
and we get Kylo Ren up here, and of course
just runs into the room and they're like,
and of course the Emperor's like, fine then. I will destroy you myself by sucking your energy.
Yeah, and then like old crippled busted fingers.
Right. The Emperor kills them by sucking them.
Yeah, you'll be sucked.
And
away. If anyone remembers that dank old E3 meme.
Now, here's the thing. And now, by the way, kids, we're skipping all of the
the outside fight where
because it's literally the same thing over and over. So
yeah,
anyway.
it's just them, and then I think at this point, there's no one knows the help hasn't arrived yet. Oh no, yeah, it does. It does.
Not yet.
Because when he sucks their energy and becomes young, that they start taking them down.
Oh,
but
hey,
like,
spoilers on what the next thing I wanted to talk about.
I'd say he sucks about their energy, but before he sucks the energy, because it is right before.
Yeah, you're right.
A huge fleet of all these other starfighters pop up, and it's just like, yay, they're all here, we're saved.
And one of the lines that made me like want to smack my head.
Yeah.
Was what? How did the resistance get an armada of a navy? And the guy goes, they're not a navy. They're just people. Because apparently navies are not run by people.
It's just randos, I guess is what he's saying. But among those ships, did you notice the Hammerhead ship from Rogue One and a bunch of other significant ships? But the Ghost.
Please tell me the Ghost was there.
The Ghost was among those ships from Rebels.
I missed it.
Yeah, the Ghost. I assume it's
Syndulla, obviously.
No, I don't think. I think it's Hera and Kanan's green-haired kid.
Well, Hera, dude.
I don't think Twi'leks live that long.
Yeah, they do apparently because she still looked as young as she did.
Her dad died. Cham, what?
But remember at the end of Rebels, she looked just as young as she did when she even had the kid.
Yeah, but that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That kid would be 30. I'm pretty sure she'd be retired at that point.
She's old, dude.
Yeah. Well, speaking of old, Wedge Antilles is there. Wedge
was there.
Snap's stepfather, who's just like, even though Wedge is already dead at that point. He shows up, he's like, yeah, let's fight. And it's like, your son's dead.
Wedge, my dad.
No. Wedge shows up, but Snap's already dead, and Wedge is his stepfather. And so it's very weird. He's just like, let's go, Lando. This like 80-year-old man. Yeah. It's really weird. And I'm like, oh.
Hey, but you want to know something? Biggs wasn't there.
Didn't Biggs die?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, Biggs wasn't
there. Did he
there.
die or did he live?
Yeah, he died, dude.
Was it Wedge who blew up the second Death Star, right?
Yeah, Wedge was the one who blew up the second one.
Yeah, he's very cool in the books. He's like old, fat, and retired, and happy.
But
anyway,
back to the important thing. When
when
Palpatine was like, "I suck you."
Yeah, he sucked, and then he just away.
And then
he gets him.
One of the cooler things.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I was already upset at this point because my theory was not correct.
Yeah.
But he pulls a Palpatine from the second Star Wars movie and says, the power of life itself. This has not been a thing for many years.
Yeah.
And he starts healing. Like, his broken fingers and stuff regenerate.
Yeah.
He goes to town. He just eats their energy.
Yeah, and then he turns into Mace Windu, wrinkle-faced, butt-headed looking
Right. He
emperor.
turns into his young, fresh state.
That's not. He was younger in like episode 1 when he looked like a human. yeah. Okay, don't question it. Don't question it.
Force magic.
Yeah. But he was just an old butthead.
But you know what the coolest thing about him was?
What?
The Sith eyes.
Yeah, his eyes being red and is like that was cool. And also when he just like blew out the bass in the movie theater speaker, just brrr, with the force lightning into the sky. That was amazing.
He does that, the next thing he does is he pretty much he doesn't say it, but in my mind I was hearing unlimited power. And no, dude, we're talking.
I wish he did say that. Or as he said, it's treason then. Yeah.
No,
and he spins into the air.
Yes. No. Although it would have made more sense if he says, "Now I have unlimited power." But anyway, we're not talking about like we've seen Palpatine do Force lightning.
Yeah.
We've seen him do Force lightning like.
We've seen him spin in the air.
This is him going like all out, like so much lightning thick enough to be like the lightning that was around the planet.
Yeah,
shocking.
Just shoots everywhere like a big Tesla ball, like you see in like a Discovery Zone or a science place.
Right.
It's like they're all over the place.
Actually, before he does that though, Kylo Ren stands up and he's like, I'm gonna do the thing. He goes, "You like Skywalker will die."
Yeah, and he just like flings him in a hole.
Yeah, just like push, and then Kylo dies. Anyway, and then of course, as he's going unlimited power in one of the cooler scenes, which made me even happier because I'm like, okay, which made me back to happy because I'm like, okay, this is good. This has promise. We hear Rey doing her little like,
come to me,
be with me. And by the way, I did notice one of the voices.
I noticed a bunch of the voices, and I'll list them in a second.
Hold on a second. I'll tell you the ones I noticed.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, as she's doing that whole thing, like when she was meditating, we hear a whole bunch of Jedi talking.
Yeah, Rey, you can do it. Rey, get up. I think you
said
about the Force like I did.
Obviously.
Yoda doesn't notice.
One of them being Luke, obviously. One of them being Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Obviously. But the one I wanted to scream so loud.
Yeah.
I heard Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka Tano. Dude, Kanan Jarrus.
Was Kanan one of them?
Yeah, Kanan was there.
Oh my goodness!
Master Luminara.
Don't you mean Caleb Doom?
Caleb Doom, yeah. Well, yeah.
Caleb, Caleb
Luminara Unduli. Qui-Gon Jinn. Obi-Wan, yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Was there.
Ayla Sakura. The Twilight one.
Was there.
Yep, Sakura was there. I think possibly Revan from KOTOR and stuff. And like, yeah, a lot of Jedi were there.
The one in Clone Wars. The one who has like the cool.
Ahsoka's original teacher.
Yes.
I forgot his name.
Was he there?
I don't think his voice is too distinct. I don't think.
I know.
Yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn. Everybody. Kanan. Everyone was there.
If I would have noticed Kanan,
yeah.
I would have been just as excited because I somehow missed that.
Yeah, it's a ton of people. I noticed Ayla Sakura because I heard the French Twilight accent, and then Ahsoka.
That too
because Ahsoka was nice. Anakin, Hayden Christensen, of course, was there.
Right.
It was great. I love that too. Obi-Wan, of course, yeah, and it was just like.
I just had to freak out because the moment I heard Ahsoka, like those 2 words she got to say, I was like, if I would have known Kanan, I would have done the same thing. That does beg the question, since we don't know the actual like where he is. Could one of them been Ezra too?
Ezra, if he's passed away, he could have been.
Yeah, because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Not.
We don't know if he.
But anyway,
that was fantastic.
Sorry, enough freaking out about this.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
So she gets up, and the Emperor's like, oh, it's time for me to kill you. And, he makes a big deal, all the Jedi will be dead and blah, blah, blah.
I'm the Sith, man. She's like, I love the Jedi. And
then
he
does the lightning blast, and she does what Luke should have done.
Yeah. And what Yoda did also.
And she's like blocking it. And of course, as they're talking, he's like, I am all the Sith. And she's like, I'm all the Jedi.
Yep.
Uses the Force, gets the second lightsaber, crosses them, and pushes them forward. This is like what ultimately made me mad.
Yeah.
I'll explain more after we're done with this one.
Yeah, she deflects lightning back and obliterates him.
Like literally melts him to death.
Yeah.
And then she falls over.
Yep.
Finn's like, no.
Yeah, Finn senses it because he's Force sensitive.
Yeah, he's like, no, she can't be.
Yeah.
And of course, from the pit, we see a hand.
Yeah.
Because Kylo Ren, spoilers,
he crawls
was
out.
never dead at all.
What? You mean throwing someone down a pit didn't kill them? But what about Darth Maul and Sidious and everyone else who was thrown down a pit who didn't die? It never works.
Hey, there was only one who died in a pit.
Who?
Boba Fett.
Yeah, that loser. or not, who knows?
We don't know.
People have escaped Sarlacc before.
Star
Killer.
And we don't know who the Mandalorian is.
No, we saw the Mandalorian. He was a kid during the what's it called?
I know.
Yeah. And also,
anyway, but Kylo's like, or Finn was like, no.
Yeah.
Kylo like puts
Cradles
Ray Ron. You said Ron.
Weasley. I said Ray.
Ray, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
How can you be dead? Puts his hand on her belly.
Yeah.
Weird spot.
Yeah.
And is like, it closes his eyes, and he's like, oh, and oh no, he healed her, and
Force
she's like,
heal
yay!
Force revive. I guess that would be a high level skill.
And she's like, yay, you revived me, and you. I by the way, after the whole Palpatine, like Ray killing Ray failing to kill Palpatine the first time, and that's when you saw all of these things happening. But what you didn't hear,
I saw when he kissed her and when she got back to life. I saw you give the finger for that too.
Yeah, I did. But what you didn't hear was when she and Kylo Ren kissed.
Yeah.
I smacked my face.
Yeah, I heard.
Many times.
When I first saw that in theaters, my eyes practically rolled out of my head. Because that was awful.
But but something good came out of this.
What? He dies?
Yep.
That's not good.
Because
Kylo Ren's the best thing about this whole trilogy. Hands down.
That's not saying much.
I know, but he's the best thing about this entire trilogy of movies.
Sorry for that, yell, folks. But that's not saying much.
Yeah, well.
But anyway.
Kylo's the best thing about this whole trilogy. It sucks that he died, but also I 100% understand why, because he's done too much evil for him to be alive and around after this series to be redeemed. He's done way too much bad and evil. He's killed way too many people.
Wait, what? Someone who did so much bad, but in the end did one act of goodness and then became a force.
That's so un-Star Wars.
That is so not Darth Vader.
Yeah, I know. Well, Vader didn't do, I don't think, half as much bad as Kylo did.
Have you seen Rogue One? Have you seen Rebels?
Dude, every time Kylo Ren lands on a planet, he kills about 20 times as many people as Vader ever did.
You don't know that.
And I've seen Vader in a ton of EU games and stuff where he just whoops a ton more ass. But
you don't know that.
I think Kylo Ren kicked a lot more butt than him.
Dude, no.
I think Kylo Ren kicked way more butt.
All Kylo Ren
he blew up 6 planets. Vader was only there when Tarkin blew up 1.
You don't know that, though.
I do know that.
No, you don't.
I've literally read 1,000 books and played 100 games.
You've never read all the books.
Have you read the Vader comics where he takes out all the Emperor's other apprentices?
Comics, huh?
Yeah. Have you ever read the Vader Down series where he landed on the Twilight planet and was just all right, let me just take care of this, and just kills a whole bunch of people?
Hey. Yeah. We're getting off topic here for a second.
Well, no, because this is the end of the movie. Who cares about the last couple of minutes? Really, do you care about the last couple of minutes of this movie?
Yeah, because the ultimate bullshit happened.
Okay. Whatever.
Bullcrap happens.
Yeah, okay, they kiss, which sucks.
Yeah,
and then
they kiss, he dies. I was happy about that.
And he fades away into a pile of clothes.
Fades away, as well as Leia.
Yeah, Leia also fades away.
And, everyone's like, yay, we see a cameo with some Ewoks.
Yeah, it's Wicked himself.
Yeah, it is.
Warwick Davis.
Wife? Question mark?
I don't know what the hell the relationship is.
Anyway.
Actually, Warwick Davis in the Wicked costume again.
Everyone's happy, it's like, oh, reunions and stuff like that. Rey made it out, said Finn.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we see Rey go to Tatooine, back to Luke's old house.
Yeah, where Lars and Baru were murdered.
Were brutally murdered.
Owen and Baru, yeah.
And she buries the lightsabers.
Yeah.
And we see this random old lady.
Yeah. There's been anyone here in years. Who are you?
And she goes, "I'm Rey." Rey who? Looks off into the distance, and Luke and Leia are just like,
"Where Force goes, thumbs up."
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, do it.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Rey Skywalker." That was the biggest double middle finger I could give the screen.
I'll let you know. If somebody watches podcasts, like if you listen, if she walks into the two sons.
No, yeah, she like does the Luke Skywalker thing where she stares at the two sons with BB, and that's where the movie ends.
I was gonna say
my turn.
Yeah, well, let me say, if you follow podcasts like the Doughboys podcast, and you know Bugmain, the character Bugmain, who's like always on and ranting about how much he hates the new Star Wars and how much he loves the prequels. A very funny thing, if you see his Twitter, he like in the theater during that scene, which is like Rey Skywalker, he's like stands up and goes like, "Yeah, JJ!" it's cheering in the theater because it's so terrible. But I will say, before you go, because this is my second time seeing the movie, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie, but I can talk for an hour about all the horrible plot holes and terrible cheesiness and inconsistencies and lazy hand waving of this movie for all hours. But I will say I personally enjoyed it, and it's full of problems, and it also makes the entire trilogy, on retrospect, complete nonsense that doesn't cohesive in any way. Now, what do you have to say, man?
Now, before I go on my tangent, my final thoughts on
opinion.
the movie.
Oh, yeah.
My final opinion on the movie. It definitely had a lot of entertaining moments. It definitely was far outshined the other two. By far. I know it's not saying much, but it definitely did outshine the other two. Oh, and you know what we forgot to mention also?
What?
That Rey has her own lightsaber now.
Oh yeah, it's a yellow
one.
It's yellow. And also, if you notice, it was created from, we didn't see her create it, but it was created from her staff.
Yep.
Yeah, which always looked like a lightsaber from the beginning of the series.
Right. So and now that we have that,
a yellow lightsaber, the best color of lightsaber, color of Temple Guards, and my favorite.
There was a lot of entertaining things. The callbacks, some of the subtle ones that I did catch.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm like, okay, this is cool, kind of thing. But ultimately, is it good? Nah. But it can be entertaining, especially if you've seen all of the other Star Wars.
Yeah. And if you all know if you know the EU stuff like I do, you can enjoy or get more pissed off.
There is some merit of entertainment. Now it's time for me to go on a few of my tangents. Mm-hmm. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so I was mad. I was absolutely furious.
Yeah.
That, first off, that Rey took up the name Skywalker, thus fulfilling Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
No.
I thought that was very inappropriate.
No.
Yeah.
What should have happened, what I was hoping would happen, what didn't happen, because everything has to have a happy frickin' ending.
Of course.
Was Rey was supposed to turn evil, which they were hinting so much about, and
that would have been nice.
I wanted her to be evil. I wanted that Jedi vision that she had,
the dark Rey,
where she actually saw herself on the throne.
Yeah,
I wanted that.
Yeah,
I didn't want Kylo Ren there. I wanted her to actually be the Empress, be the Sith.
Yeah,
and when I saw that other thing where she was like had like the full I wanted that so much.
A lot of people did.
And I wanted Kylo Ren to have a redemption arc where he takes her down, thus fulfilling, in a sense, the Rise of Skywalker, because he is the blood of Skywalker.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been amazing. I wanted so much for her to actually become evil by the end of this.
Yeah.
And not because I hate her character. I love Rey's character a lot. She's actually, Matt says that Kylo Ren was the best thing.
Yeah.
I personally think that Rey was actually a little better. And
well, you agree to disagree, yeah.
Exactly.
No one's saying Finn or Rose.
In this one, I wanted her to actually change to evil.
Yeah.
And I wanted her to actually at least be defeated, not killed, but actually start a new, era of Sith.
Yeah.
And when she first when she did the "now you see my lightsaber, now you don't" thing, I demanded bullcrap on that one. I'm like, no. Then I saw her get the other one out. I'm like, okay. And she didn't do it. I'm like, no. Then Palpatine, the last saving grace that I wanted. Plagueis takes the energy, finally knows how to heal. The one thing his master was supposedly able to do, Plagueis the Wise, but apparently couldn't do to himself, obviously.
Yeah.
But he had that. So now Rey and Kylo would fight the Emperor. The Emperor would escape. And we would have more. I was hoping something
I wouldn't want him to
happen.
escape.
I wanted him to live so that more Sith could appear.
Yeah, there's always going to be Sith. But, like, yeah.
But we had a stupid, in my opinion, Disney sci-fi happy ending, and I did not like it. And I say it's a good thing, but it's a minuscule good thing that Kylo Ren died.
I wish Kylo Ren stuck around.
He did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He will. As a ghost.
Yeah, he can be a Force ghost.
As a ghost.
Yes, ain't a good Jedi.
Anyway, oh my goodness. Yeah. And just so many things, man. So many. That whole thing with Palpatine. I was almost upset because I thought it was a clone, like I said at the beginning of this. But he was the real one, and I'm like, this has promise! And it just... The last act. By the way, I am physically laying on my side, holding my
gesturing
head.
his hands wildly for listeners.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah.
That ending ruined so much. You saw how many flip-flops I did.
Screen freaking out.
She's gonna turn evil. The fleet is actually gonna get destroyed. Everything is going to come.
The fleet would have been destroyed, or the fleet of the Superstar Destroyers?
The rebellion. It's like Rey's gonna become evil. She's actually gonna do like the whole bye-bye rebellion, except for like Finn and Poe and some of the main ones, because you gotta have someone against it. And there's gonna be at least one more where Rey can actually be taken down or something by Kylo Ren.
Yeah, there's always, like I said, there's always going to be more Sith. There always exists one person with Force-sensitive powers. There's no Jedi to make people Force powers good. So if somebody's just smart enough to study, they can be an evil Sith. But yeah, the ending was not great, and it was very, like, all the bad guys or pseudo-gray guys are dead, and every good person is alive and happy.
Although, I liked how... Okay, sorry, let me... Because I did go on a tangent there, and that took a lot of my energy for a bit. However, there was something I did like about the Kylo Rey kind of thing. Was the ambiguity. They weren't fully Sith, but they weren't fully Jedi.
Yeah, they're both pretty like nebulously gray, and they're conflicted. Their whole arcs were about being conflicted. Yeah,
right. Yeah, and a lot of people. Like, there was an official Lucasfilms thing that got taken out off of YouTube, where Lucasfilms and Lucas himself stated that Grey Jedi were not canon.
Yeah.
But I personally...
That was before the acquisition, I assume. Because
when Ahsoka Tano was introduced in my Star Wars watching life...
Yeah.
And I found out that she became a Grey Jedi herself. Yeah. And then, of course, I played the 2 Jedi Knight games where you played as Kyle Katarn.
Yeah.
Where he wasn't good. I mean, in the first one that you play as him, you could be good, you could be bad. There was no in between.
Yeah.
Bull. But the second one, Jedi Outcast, where you literally had both good and bad, and there was no morality thing. You were both kind of in a way. This might be the unpopular opinion, or it could be the very popular opinion. I could just be making myself look like a fool, but I like that. I like when the concept of the Grey Jedi came into my memory, my mind. I like that a lot better than you have to be good. You have to be, or else you're evil. You have to be evil, or else you're good. There was a middle ground.
There was only one Dark Jedi, or the Sith, technically, I don't know if they came up in the original series, and then in the prequels, it was Sidious and his apprentices who changed every movie. But, like, There was always like the book that just came out recently, Master and Apprentice, has a grayish Jedi who was like kicked out of the academy technically, but still technically works for them. He drinks, he sleeps around, he does drugs, he does whatever he wants. He's still a Jedi with Force powers and a lightsaber. But like, and people like Ahsoka, and also like in Jedi Fallen Order, there is a Dark Jedi who's really cool, and also that's why I love the not Sith, like the Inquisitors are all really really cool.
So Dark Jedi are different than Sith.
Yeah. The Inquisitors are different than a Sith because they're not Sith. And remember, there's always the rule of two that Sidious supposedly believed in. He had Palpatine. Palpatine had Asajj Ventress. Palpatine had Savage Opress.
Yeah. Hold on. Stopping you for a second.
And Grievous. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I thought Dooku had Ventress and and Grievous.
They worked for Dooku, but they were under Sidious technically because like they worked for. It's complicated, like I told you,
every Sith could have went back.
Well,
to
also
Palpatine.
like in the actual 100% canon Vader comics, like the Emperor has a ton of apprentices. Some of them who aren't Force sensitive, some who are Force sensitive, some who use like lightsaber like weapons, and some like there's a Mon Calamari who's built up like Grievous. There's a pair of twins who have a bunch of tech that gives them Force like abilities. There's a lady who has a bunch of like spinning spheres that have lightsabers on them that she could just control. And it's just like there's a set of all kinds of EU stuff about like nebulous, but like the movies never cover that kind of concept until Rey and Kylo, who were like he's nebulously dark but trying to be tempted by the light, and she's good but not a Jedi and tempted by the darkness. And it was very good, but it was like never really focused on.
In the first game with Kyle Katarn, the main villain was specifically stated as Dark Jedi.
Yeah.
In my view, I thought that was just the video game way of saying Sith.
No.
Without actually saying Sith. No, now
they're dark side users who aren't Sith.
How interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, but either way,
that's what Asajj technically was.
I like the Grey Jedi. Mm-hmm. Obviously, my favorite one is the first one, Ahsoka Tano. In my view,
first canon one probably.
For me, she was the first one that introduced the concept to me.
Yeah, but she's still like, if you read her book, she's still pretty like mentally in the state of like, I'm a monk and I can't be like this person's flirting with me. I can't be with somebody because that'll distract me and make me dark.
Okay, so
she's very like that. Yeah,
but she's still gray.
Technically,
she's still
not
left
with
the order.
Yeah, she's not with the order.
Yeah, but and honestly, Ezra and
Kanan are 100% gray. I think.
Definitely,
because he does some bad stuff all the time. It's like it's really great.
But yeah,
still, too much.
So many.
But yeah, a lot of problems with this movie. Like I was discussing with my sister after the movie. This movie is like Swiss cheese or like a whole bunch of paper that's more holes than cheese or paper. Like it's actually more holes than cheese and the amount of plot holes.
More holes than
the thousands and thousands of MacGuffins that just got tiresome and boring. Someone landing on a planet and the enemy immediately finding them within seconds was really repetitive and short writing.
One of the small details I completely like as I heavily roll my eyes, viewers, is when a stormtrooper has a blaster, they constantly miss. But give a hero it, and they always one shot.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's like, isn't that how it always
and they're supposed to be force sensitive, supposedly, of course, now we know. But they still suck. Yeah, okay, but honestly, final rating. What would you rank it among all of the Star Wars stuff that you've seen, excluding Solo because you haven't seen it? But with the prequels and everything.
Ones that I've seen, of all the 9, 10.
It'd be 10 if you haven't seen Solo, or it'll be 11.
10. I'm not gonna count the series.
You should. You could.
I could, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do with the live action movies.
Right.
Not like that movie that was the Clone Wars.
God, that movie was terrible.
Was it? It's a good thing I missed it then.
It's awful. Like, anyone who was vaguely interested in Clone Wars, do not watch that movie. It is garbage.
Honestly, before I give my final verdict on this whole thing, if you're going to watch anything Clone Wars, I've learned this myself.
Yeah.
Watch the Tartakovsky one.
No, I prefer the third one.
It has more to do with the connection between 2 and 3.
Well, it's not
than
canon.
This one does.
It's not canon, but B, there's a lot of like lists out there for if you want to watch Clone Wars. There's a list of just watch like these 3 episodes from this season, these 4 episodes from this season. Skip all it skips everything that's filler and nonsense and kiddie crap, but it just tells you all the important plot episodes. If you watch series like that, it's perfect.
Okay, so my final ranking where this one goes, because honestly, it would be the original trilogy is always going to be the top for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like the original trilogy. 3, then 2, then 1 of the prequels in that order.
Yeah.
Because the only good thing that came out of the first one, episode 1,
was Maul.
Was was the Duel of Fates.
Yeah.
The second one was good because the second one was all right because not the whole thing romance.
That
that bored me. The whole thing with the clones.
That was
and the fighting,
terribly handled.
It was.
I was gonna say
it was
Sifo
terribly
Dyas.
handled.
Everything was the mystery of Sifo Dyas being completely dropped until season 6 of Clone Wars.
Yeah,
that sucks.
I haven't gotten that far yet, but
exactly.
So, either way, that I agree with. But that last scene was on Geonosis was really good. But and Yoda getting to do the Force thing. Actually see Yoda fighting with was Dooku. Cool. But the biggest thing, the biggest like I have, why it's where it is the opera house scene.
Oh, the story, yeah.
Where, the whole.
That's in 3. Yeah.
That's in 2.
It's in 3.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
See, my brother Phil and I had this conversation. I said it was in 3 as well.
I just watched it. I watched all the movies recently, and yeah, it's definitely because that's when he's grooming him to be the next.
Okay.
person.
Anyway, well, it's still okay. Then the second one is where it is because of that fight scene. The third one is that right there, the mythos. We finally get some mythos in the Star Wars universe because the way Sidious says it to Anakin is a story.
Yeah,
like it's a myth. It didn't actually happen when we all know it actually did. Yeah. Because that was his master. But the other thing I like, people will give me crap for this, but Christian, the guy who played as Anakin...
Hayden Christensen?
Yeah. What was it?
Hayden Christensen?
Hayden, thank you. Hayden, who was Anakin. In the second movie, he was awkward. Mm. But in the third one, he was amazing, not because of his talking scenes, but the scenes where it was silent. Because where they built on the emotion and like how you
he had some good
all
stuff
of his
in there,
silent moments were actually the really good things. Now, I've already told you my top 6.
Yeah. Well, you think those are all above the new trilogy?
Yes.
You're crazy. Those prequels are all hot garbage and they're doo-doo, banta poodoo ass trash. And I don't know what the hell you're talking about, dude. They suck. Awful. But okay, go on with your opinion.
Going back to the question that you asked me.
Yeah.
When it comes to the new trilogy, this most recent one, which by the way, in between the prequels and the original trilogy, like after Return of the Jedi, well, actually, to be honest, my top one is Return of the Jedi. Then it goes A New Hope.
You're a crazy person.
Then it goes A New Hope. Then it goes
Return of the Jedi is not good, but okay.
Hey, you want to go with not good? You know what wasn't good?
What?
Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker was not good.
In what?
In the first 3 movies he was in, the first 3 Star Wars movies. Dude, come on. Uncle
Also, this is already long-winded. This is already almost 2 hours long.
Right. Sorry.
But you're crazy if you think those prequels are anything besides trash.
But between the prequels and the original trilogy, that's where Rogue One is. It's actually, I recently watched it, and wow, that was a good movie.
It's great. You should watch Solo.
Eventually. But when it comes to the new trilogy, from best to worst, in my opinion, Rise of Skywalker, The Force Awakens, Last Jedi.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's opinion.
Last Jedi was the worst.
That's what a lot of people say. I think Last Jedi was alright, but it's of all the new ones, it's definitely at my bottom. I say I don't care for New Hope, and no one can ever defend it just because. Besides using the excuse that it's the first one, it's not that impressive.
Dude, but, all of the actors in that movie were bad because it was the first freaking Star Wars.
But
movie.
I will say that I'm not saying just the actors, but just like the plot and what's happening. It's all very weird and slow and confusing and dumb.
Oh no!
Return of the Jedi is bad. I will say that it's very boring and everyone's phoning it in, and the plot, everything with the Ewoks is garbage. Jabba's palace is vaguely interesting. Boba Fett being a little bitch isn't. And then, like, the only cool thing about that movie is the end with Vader. I'll argue that forever. The prequels are all dookie, except for Episode 3, which I enjoyed.
Wait. Yeah? What happened to Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, that's a good one. It gets a lot of love. It's not
the most boring of the
That's
3.
like objectively between like every fandom, the one that everyone likes the most.
The one good thing, the one best thing about that entire movie was the obvious.
What?
Yoda?
What? Dagobah?
No. Well,
Hoth?
He was good. But are you kidding me now?
Hoth?
The biggest moment in Empire Strikes
Cloud
Back?
City or father reveal?
Yeah.
It was alright.
Father reveal. No. I am your father.
Anyway, this is already going way too long. I'd love to make it to 2 hours. But
another moment where bad acting takes in the face. That's not true. Get your body.
Mark Hamill's great. How dare you? He's a national treasure.
Hey, no. first off, Nick Cage is a national
shut your
treasure. But secondly, I didn't say he himself was bad. His acting in that movie was bad.
Whatever. He's fine. He's great in that movie. But anyway, I will say I'll put most of the new movies above any of the old ones just because acting-wise and aesthetics-wise and plot-wise. But yeah, I really like this movie, even though it is full of horrible plot holes. It's not boring like the original, like the prequels were. The prequels are fucking boring and bad. Are you serious?
Anyway.
Those long Senate scenes where they're sitting in quiet silence.
That's why I don't like the second one as much.
That's the first one. The opening scene's like
that's why I didn't like the first one.
And you like that Gungan crap with frickin' Jar Jar's douchey butt? Oh, I'm sorry. You like the battle droids. Roger. No, what's going on? I don't know. No, you like that? That's good. That's good to you.
Did you not hear me? Did you not hear me?
That's good to you.
Hey, just for the record, viewers, he obviously didn't hear me. Because the only good thing that came out of the first movie was Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
He was only good in Clone Wars when he actually got a character.
Oh, you mean in Rebels when he was actually a lot better?
No, I think he was better in Clone Wars. I
haven't gotten there yet, which I've been waiting so long.
Have you got to Savage Opress yet?
No.
Okay, well, you're way off from Maul then.
Yeah,
but anyway.
like I said, I've been waiting so long because I know Maul comes back canon.
That's when he's brought back, yeah.
Yeah. That I want that.
It's gonna be weird when he first back. It's really
honestly,
weird.
This is gonna sound crazy, but that's actually probably the only reason why I'm starting to watch. Like I watched it because I want to see Maul.
I like Ahsoka.
Oh, dude, Ahsoka's the best.
Yeah.
Dude, remember how Toph is the best Earthbender?
Yeah.
And how Lin Beifong is literally.
I'll start now.
Anyway,
yeah. Okay, my opinion is that I think that this one is my favorite of the new series, but it is very messed up and crappy.
Of the new series, yeah, it is my favorite. I agree.
Yeah, and of all the Star Wars, probably I'd probably go with some. Honestly, Solo is one of my favorites. I'd probably followed by Rogue One.
I have yet to watch it, so I can't rank it.
Yeah.
And this is not including the series, because this list would be a lot longer.
I'd include games because Fallen Order is one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars media.
I have not yet played that game.
The comics are all great because they expand the universe. Anyway, we're coming on 2 hours. That's the movie. It's very messed up, but I enjoyed it. It's very dumb and I like it.
My final thoughts are: go and watch it if you like Star Wars.
We already spoiled the crap out of it, but
go and watch it if you like it. Dude, our what we just did is probably going to be jumbled mess.
Oh, absolutely. It's nonsense.
Kind of like the movie. But
yeah.
Go watch it if you haven't and you decided to listen to this whole thing. Go and watch it for your own experience.
Yeah, I'd say watch it for my own opinion.
Yeah, and it is enjoyable. It's not good, but it's enjoyable. If you don't like Star Wars, don't even think about it.
It's not for you. We didn't talk about how the pacing was absurd and everything happened so fast and so quick you couldn't possibly understand what was happening on one viewing. But
so now that we've gotten all that out of the way, I have no plugs. Matt, however,
plugs the Forgotten Minotaur King podcast. Check it out. It's on the same channel as this is. Twitter, Matthew Lewis Podcasts on Twitter, Matthew Lewis Podcasts on Patreon. Check them out and donate. That all we got?
That's all we have.
All right, we'll resume regular programming next week and keep it sleazy. We still haven't come up with a different catchphrase, but oh well.